Running fans, jumping fans, throwing fans, all around athletic fans. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Talking in Ovals. I'm Alex Hyatt. What's going on, brother?
Waiting for this rain to stop so we can get back to some normalcy here. It's just been miserable.
It's never going to stop. I'm
But
convinced, we're never going to stop.
I want to start this show off by giving a shout out to kids that I know personally. I see every day at practice who work really, really hard. And that is my Manasquan Warriors, the shuttle hurdle team today in the not best weather in East Brunswick. Ran 1 minute 0.81, a automatic qualifier. So they are heading off to the national meet. And that team was Tristan Davalos Guillen, Stephen Sharp, Owen Murphy, and welcome back, Ace Etienne. These kids work hard every day in practice, and it's just great to see them get this goal that they had as soon as Ace was coming back. You know, this is something that they really wanted to get. There's not many meets at this time of year to run the shuttle. So kudos, guys, and shout out to Coach Kayla Reed and Evan Kaner. They do an amazing job every day getting these kids ready, and great job, guys. I couldn't be more proud of everyone today who was representing the Manasquan Warriors. It was awesome.
I just enjoy the fact that you absolutely could not wait for us to get to our PRs and our shout outs. That you had to just go ahead and dive on in.
Listen, those kids every day are just working hard to just be better versions of themselves in every capacity of life, and it's just awesome. It is awesome. You know, when we got up today, it was rain, it was wind, but they said we're going to go anyway, and it's kudos to everyone who made that happen. It was awesome.
And also staring down Memorial Day weekend. It's kind of a break, and everyone's looking forward to
Yeah.
it. But
Yep.
that's really cool that they were able to get up there. And they have a great head coach. I will throw that out there. They have a very gifted head coach that is
all
doing
of our
a really
coaches
nice
are
job.
amazing. All of them.
Well, I don't know your other coaches, damn it. So I'm giving you the credit.
Well,
but
I had nothing to do with any of those athletes. That was all Coach Reed and Coach Kane are doing an amazing job.
So before we jump into all the fun stuff that we like to do, I'd like to just say hello to everyone from wherever you're watching. Today is Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. Technically, it's not a new episode, so we're not going to give it a number. I like to give our basically our interviews the numbered episodes. So this one is just going to be us talking. We're going to show a lot of things in the share screen. We're going to be talking Grand Slam Track Philly, which is coming up soon on the 31st. So we're 9 days away. 9 days. Yeah, 9 days. I can do math. We're going to be talking about Diamond League Rabat Morocco, which is in 3 days. That starts on the 25th. And Bowerman Mile. And then we'll throw in some other things. Obviously, we'll get sidetracked because we always do.
Absolutely.
But it's a little bit later. It's Thursday. We were going to go Monday. Some scheduling conflicts happened. We did have a guest lined up for tonight, but again, things happen. This is a guest that we will have on in the future, so I'm not going to, say anything because he's fantastic. But we will have him on in the future. But there's always something going on in track and field, so we can salvage more than an episode. And we'll probably talk and do an episode longer than we normally would today. Just Dave and I talking track. So if you are looking for the interview style that we do, which is a little more storytelling, I apologize. We're not going to be giving you that today. We're going to be giving you a little bit more in the weeds track stuff. But if you're a trackie, we're going to be talking about the things that you necessarily, should be paying attention to. Like, it's a big time of the year. We have college conference meets going on. We have state meets in basically every single state, except for some of the southern and western ones, which had them a little earlier. Their weather's nicer.
But I got to say though, I have been so wrapped up in my own team's season that I'm not as well versed in what's going on. So this is going to be a fun episode where I can kind of get my brain racked, back into everything that's going on at the college and pro level. I mean, I've been watching some, but I'm not as on my game as I usually am. But it's time for me to step it up.
I get a lot of, I will say social media can be a poison, but it's also really good when you have great coverages like Flow Track, Runner Space, Sidious, and a lot of these different running spots, that come in and cover and highlight and provide commentary. Our past guest, Aaron Spider Brown's really good on TikTok and things like that about giving honest opinion and giving flowers when it's deserved. And he could be a tough critic, but he loves the sport and he guides it. He's also a fierce competitor as well. So
absolutely.
So I love covering it from afar as much as I don't watch all the races. We see all the great highlights and things like that.
Right.
And there's
Well,
so many going on. So
it's hard, it's just me and it's you. So,
yeah,
we do what we can. We have
we're two
families.
guys.
We have families, we have jobs, we have kids, so it's, we do what we can, and we absolutely love bringing you guys everything that we have, and it's let's go, man. This is fun.
Yeah. So wherever you're watching from, whether it's Facebook, X, or YouTube, we appreciate you. Make sure you are smashing the like button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Don't wait till the end of the show because you might hate us by the end of it. So do it now so you're locked in. But if you're watching on X, make sure that you like and repost it. It's really important. Leave a comment. We always love interacting with the chat. These are the fun episodes where we can definitely give a little more interaction on our opinions and things like that and get you guys involved. And if you're watching over on Facebook, make sure you like it, make sure you share it, and go ahead and follow us there because we appreciate all of that. And if you're listening to this later via podcast form, make sure that you give us a 5-star rating, leave a comment, all that good stuff. We see right away we got Christopher Pass coming in with the Flames. What's up, Pass? How you doing? We are going to have you on as a guest at some point, Pass. You don't have a choice. We are going to reminisce about all the dumb things that we did back in high school, but we will keep it PG because Coach doesn't have to know about half the things we did under his tenure when he was our
I was
Manchester
not
coach.
there when, I don't think I was there when Chris was,
Oh, you were there. He's
there.
only a year under me. You were there because I was a
Oh, he's under you. Yes. Yeah,
he
you're right.
was
I
he
was
was
there.
a he was a sophomore because you were there the year that I won counties and conferences, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
when
I
I was
was
running
coaching
the 800.
sprints.
You were coaching sprints and you were mostly on the ladies. So you were dealing with a lot of the girls because that was a year. Yeah. So
Right.
you were there for that. But
I
yeah,
remember,
no,
Troy Marshall was there.
Troy was incredible. So wait, maybe if Troy was there, then it was my sophomore year and Pass was a freshman.
Yes.
So then that was my sophomore year. Pass coming in, giving some inside baseball, starting with hand tennis. We'll let Hyatt in on hand tennis in that episode. You can wait on that one. And if Chef is ever watching, he'll want to murder us as well. But I digress with that. So wherever you're watching from, we appreciate it. Make sure you
Thank you.
follow us at Talking in Ovals. Last week, it seems so long ago now because it
It
was like 2
does.
Mondays ago, but we had on a Jason Resch that was a long sought out guest for us.
Yes.
Talking to Coach Resch was a ton of fun. He's the director of cross country and track over at Stockton and gave us a fun and different perspective from a
Oh, yeah.
Division III program, but an incredibly successful Division III program in a really competitive conference, Division III conference over there. So it was fun.
And, I love how, we got the inside scoop on, how he was he kinda had no choice but to love this sport because of the passion of his dad, Tom, that just like he was just kinda thrown into it, how he was saying how his dad would just leave him, to walk around when he was 8 at like
Either you
certain
can
years.
run the race or not, pick it, but I'm gone. Like,
So,
I love that
it
so
was
much.
great.
It
Fantastic.
was fantastic. So if you're interested in that, definitely go back and give it a listen. And even if you're not interested, go back and give it a listen because I said so, damn it. But either way, let's jump in to the fun stuff as we always do. We are going to start off with our PRs.
Let's do it.
And it's only fitting that we have our friends from Red Arrow Track that we are going to start off with over here. Tom Figueroa over there. Coming in, busy week, 3 meets. They're down the last couple weeks. Next week, having a couple meets, hopefully a few more PRs, and then a break until XC season, which, Dave, that is wild
It
that
is.
we are already sitting here and talking and looking ahead because
Yeah,
states, nationals, XC, like it's summer training, summer based training starts in a month.
that it
Like
does.
it's insane to think like you take your week off, 2 weeks off, and then you start really base training. Like running never ends, but I digress. Let's get
It's a
into some of
very,
these
very
PRs.
fast transition. It just
Oh my God. So at the last chance EQ meet on Monday, May 12th, 2 male individuals running ninth graders, Ethan Ferguson in the 800 ran a 2:10:15, and Riley Zalai, Tom, you have to tell me how to say that name. Zalai ran a 10:43:63 in the 3200. And then over at the Wolverine JV Championships on Wednesday, May 14th, we had all men there as well. And ninth graders and one 11th grader. Ninth grader Braden Shu ran a 5:24:63 in the 1600. And Ben Schinbeckler also ran the 1600 in 5:53.33. Then in the 800, we had Tanner Craw, an 11th grader, ran a 2:09:15. And then Ben Schinbeckler came back with the double ninth grader, ran a 2:36.59. And then Braden Shue coming back with the 3,200 double. God, I don't miss those 3,200, 1,600 meter doubles. Running an 11:41.90 there. And then lastly, over here, we had the regional championships Friday, May 16th. Some ladies thrown into this one. But first, we'll start off with the gentlemen. Ethan Ferguson, ninth grader in the 16, ran a 4:45.25. And then for the ladies, we had Jade Leith, ninth grader, ran a 5:52.12. And then in the 3,200, a ninth grader, Layla Gableman, ran a 13:05.95. So as always, to our Michiganders over there, congrats.
Congratulations.
Great jobs on all your
Absolutely.
PRs. And this, one thing that I do love about this and the weekly stuff we get from Coach over there is they're running PRs this late into the season, and that is exactly what you want to see because it's
And
they come in hellfire and vinegar, and maybe midseason they're getting it, but it's late in the season now. Legs are tired. This is the time where you find out about yourself, and they're still hitting PR. So that says a lot about the program
yep.
from Coach Figueroa, from the high school, from everything going there. So really good job out there. I want to jump to this one right here because this one hits close to home because that
Yes.
is our former guest, Megan Hunter,
Great job,
kicking
Megan.
some ass. Megan not only won the Big 12 in the 800, set a school record, a meet record, and ran the number 3 all-time 800-meter race,
Listen.
breaking not just 2 minutes, but 1:59, ran a 1:58.99. Let's get a nice look over here of her finishing that race. I mean,
If you
this
dip
is
under 2 in college as a female, that's really fast. I mean, to break 1:59, that is just rolling. Good for
so
Megan. This is
massive
awesome.
shout out.
This is
Massive
great.
shout out to BYU. Massive shout out to Megan. She was such a sweetheart on the show, and
The
we are
best.
just so freaking happy. And if you see us right there talking to Nobles, let's go. Congrats, Megan. Like we are there. We are rooting for her, and that's such a cool thing to see. So we're happy for you. We're proud of you, Megan, and we're in your corner. And I can't wait to see what she does because if she didn't want to really go pro before this, 1:58.99, someone's going to latch on. You're going to get a sponsor there coming out of BYU,
Yeah, and
especially. So,
that's some great
maybe
running.
she'll go join her coach in the Nike Elite team because her coach
Hey,
is over there. So that would be awesome for her. So pump for her. Great
all the
job.
best, man. All the best.
And also jumping into other friends of the show right here, Tom's River North doing Tom's River North
North
things.
Whew.
We'll play this in the background here.
This is
But
the same meet that my Mascon boys were at. Not the
yeah,
best day, but man, what a performance.
but a shuttle hurdles national record. This has been a long time coming. We've mentioned, we talked to him on the show about something like this, as you could see him go off. But Cameron Thomas, Jael Hester, Mordecai Ford, and Mamadi Diawara, names that we've said over and over and over,
As we should.
broke the shuttle hurdle record. First team ever to dip under 56 seconds at the high school level, 55.93. The previous record was 56.32, so they just shattered it. Westside High School had it back in 2004. So this is a 20-year-old record, 21-year-old record that they broke. And they're only sitting there, and now they have the 1 and number 3 times of all time. This is
This is
amazing. Crappy
legendary
weather,
stuff.
50 degrees. Sprinters usually tight here, but man,
I
shout out to
have
Tom's River North, man.
I have a fun fact, courtesy of Coach Pinto. The old record was set by Westside High School in South Carolina.
Oh, beautiful weather.
Right? That race was run in Willingboro, New Jersey. So, and
That's
then,
incredible.
yep.
So shout out to them. Big things going on. I'm excited for them to get into championship season as well. As we see, their individuals. I think we talked to the coaches on the show and they mentioned how like they've struggled individually, right? I think that this group of gentlemen and ladies too, because that ladies team is strong as hell.
Yep.
I think that they are all ready to do some big things. Also in the individuals, I think Meet of Champions is going to be stacked with Tom's River North.
Listen,
I
man,
think, nationals, we're going to see some good stuff. So I'm excited.
Group 4 is going to be a battle. You have them, you have North Brunswick, you have Westfield. I mean, it's not going to be an easy feat for anybody. It is going to be a war out there, and best of luck to every team going. And it's going to be fun to watch from afar because I'll be at Group 2.
Yeah. So we're excited. Again, shout out to them. Group 4 is so strong, and Tom's River North is one of the reasons why they are strong this year. But we are going to jump ahead, Dave. And we want to talk about, first thing we want to talk about is we've said, 9 days, Grand Slam Philly is coming our way.
Local.
Um, Local, right over in the Northeast, over at Franklin Field. Um, it's exciting. It's exciting basically because, for me, looking at what they did in Miami, and I think we all agree that Miami overall was a big step forward from
Yes.
Kingston. And overall, ratings wise, not really a success 'cause I think they only still pulled in around 300,000 viewing,
But it was
but
more
maybe a little more. It was a little more.
going
I
in
think
the
it was like
positive.
350 as opposed to 340. So
Right.
they a little more. But and I don't think fan wise they pulled in much more, but the optics looked so much better. They
Well, it was a
filled
much
Anson.
smaller setting. It was a lot
Yes.
more conducive to the size of meet that they had and to the fans that they knew had already purchased tickets.
Yes. So it was a big step forward. It looked great. The competition was good. Still minor kinks to work out in terms of timing in between meets and things like that in main races. But overall step forward. So we're going into and really quick to go on and get the Coach Pinto saying congrats to all the New Jersey teams hitting the New Balance national standing, including Squan.
Thanks,
Yes,
coach.
absolutely.
Thank you, coach.
And former guest here and flow track extraordinaire, John Davern jumping in, more excited for the Sound Running Track Fest, which
That's going to be
it's
fantastic.
going to be so much fun, which we didn't even have on the run sheet, but we might have to look up some stuff and talk about,
It's going to be
Sound Running,
it's
some
going to be great.
matchups and things going on there. Absolutely. There's so much to go on in track.
There
It's
is.
hard to fill it into one show. We want to keep this show like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours if we're lucky. If we go on with everything, we're going to
I'll
be
be
here for like
asleep in 2
9
hours,
years.
buddy.
Yeah. No, we can't. Hey, you don't have school, so you
I
can
know, but
go
it's
as
still a
long as you
school
want.
night. I had school today
Uh,
and practice and my second practice.
are you telling me you're an old man and you need your beauty sleep?
100. Well, I'm an old man. I don't know about beauty sleep, but
So, Grand Slam Philly is here.
yes,
And I think that they made some changes. That's the one thing we're going to talk about first is they
yes,
made some changes. And I think there is possibilities to do well.
yes.
And I think there's some pitfalls that they may find. So let's jump into the changes that they made. So let's share this page right here. If I can get back to our thing. Boom, 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 technology. So this was the original schedule for the meet over here, for the Philadelphia meet.
Right.
They had it set for May 30th through June 1st. A little bit hard to see here. Let me zoom in. Oh, God, that's way too much. Jesus Christmas. Why is it all or nothing? I didn't think it was going to be that big. There we go. That's better. So it was set up to have May 30th through June 1st. And this was the setup that they had. Okay. Um, the one big thing I want everyone to notice is day 1 and day 3 at the bottom. They had the 5K.
Yes.
Now, this has changed because if we fast forward to an announcement that was just made a few days ago, they have dropped a full day.
Which
Um,
I like in a lot of certain areas, but I don't know. I have to see how it plays out.
I agree that it has the possibility
Yeah.
to work out well because I think that part of the issue was, the 3-day format maybe wasn't great. But one thing to notice, Dave, you pointed out to me earlier, they've dropped the 5K. So
It's
if you
gone.
see all these little logos right here, LH means long hurdles, ST means short distance, SS means short
Short
sprints,
sprints, yep.
LD long distance, LS long sprints. So they have their groups, right? If you're not familiar with Grand Slam, they group their athletes into these groups and they each run 2 races throughout the meet. Not long distance. Long distance is only going to get 1 race. It's only going to be that 3K. So it's going to be interesting to see
Right.
the difference because now they're all going to go for it. But
Yeah,
it could be one of 2 ways. They can go all out, or they could really dog it and really sprint again.
see, I'm torn because I love it from a competitive standpoint. Because let's be honest. I mean, those races have just been gifted for Grant Fisher. Like they've been slow. Like they haven't been that juicy of races. It's
They
just
were
been
running
slow
high
start.
school national times. They really were.
Correct. So
It wasn't good.
from that standpoint, I do like getting rid of it and putting all of the money on one race.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like here's 50K. Who's going to get it? I think you'll get much faster times and a lot more competitive races. And I think more people might come in as challengers. But I don't like the fact that unless they've figured this out, that long distance only has a chance to make 50K and not the 100K or what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I
Oh, no, I'm
mean,
sorry. The only 100K and not 200K.
they should have added the 15. They should have done a second 1500 and put
Yeah, I
that
mean,
in for the longer distance because you
they
have
already
those long
have
distance
two,
guys.
2 twos, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they have 2 twos. They could have done another 15 for them. I know it's
Yeah,
faster for a lot of those distance guys, but at least gives them that second race. Stavern jumping in with a few more here, saying Josh Hoey versus the world in that
that's gonna
mid
be
distance group.
ooh,
That's going to be a fun one.
we will
That's
get
a
there.
good group. Yes.
That's gonna be
Um, Davern coming back saying no one's going to beat Grant in the 3K group now, and he added on he's going to run a 7:22 and just drop everyone because why wouldn't you? Yeah, I
agreed,
mean,
but that's
and
what we want.
so what this also is too,
That's why
how
I
is
don't
this
mind.
going to affect Grant in the end? Because they've been keeping tallies of the total points.
Right.
And Grant's been a person that's up there with that total point
Yeah, because
group.
remember, you get 12 points for first, which is 4 more than second,
Mhm.
not just 2.
And he doesn't have the 48 because he lost in the last one of the was it the 5K he got nipped
5.
in.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's perfect, but this lessens his chances of getting up there because Sid's leaving herself vulnerable running the 100 and 100
Kudos to her,
hurdles.
by the way,
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, so it's like we're gonna see what happens. There's gonna be a shakeup, but it just kind of sucks. And now this takes away Grant's chances to keep on adding to his point total because I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
mean,
they're giving them something extra,
I
whoever
don't
has the most points in the end.
unless they just double I'm not sure. I haven't read that thoroughly
Yeah,
into exactly how this changes because you're right, like, that would put them at
the
a
whole group at
disadvantage,
a disadvantage. Yeah, it
not
sucks.
only financially, but also point-wise. So,
Point wise, because I don't know, there's got to be a reason why they're keeping the overall total points, and I can imagine because they're going to reward the overall 4 Grand
yeah,
Slam winner with something more, maybe another 100K or something like that.
yeah,
Maybe it's going to be a surprise thing, and I'd be pretty pissed if I'm in that long distance group and
yeah.
now I don't have the opportunity to compete for that.
I
I'm
gotta say, though,
speculating. I don't know if that's
yeah, I
happening,
don't
but it
either.
just
I
seems that way.
I have not done enough research to know, but overall, I say I definitely dig the 2-day format because like you're getting people running back to back days.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we'll get into some of the matchups in a little bit, but man, there's some going to be some phenomenal races at this. The only thing, and not that Grand Slam should care about this in any way, it just thinks that that's the weekend of groups here in New Jersey, and like what a cool team trip that would have been to get tickets and go see Grand Slam. I mean, I guess you could still do it on Sunday, but I mean, just think about that. Like you, just like a team bonding thing. Everyone going to Franklin Field to go watch pros run. I just think that would have been so cool. And there's so many teams that can't do that now because it's groups. Again, not Grand Slams issue or
No, it's not
at
their
all.
problem at
It
all. But
just just think because that's a lot of teams that are close to this area that might not be able to actually go.
And Davern brought this up as a good thing over here. What they should have done is make Friday a community day, have a bunch of under the lights community races, and then run a long distance group on Friday night. Possibly, I think that could have been a good thing having the 5K solo as a thing. But the thing with that, Davern, is to be able to make that switch on the fly. I know they already had Friday locked in, but to make that switch of the community races with just this short out and you're bringing up and this working on flow, the insurance and things like that, and to bring in with the community, like to make it that festival setting would have been tough, but that could be a future thing where it's like, hey, that first day is a community fun day, the festival day where we close out that night with the men's and women's 5Ks. Like that could be, or we start off the night with the men's 5K, close out with the women's, or vice versa. And in the middle, it's just a festival fun thing. Like that's actually a really good idea, Davin.
Yeah,
Call up, we talk to Kurt,
I
talk
like
to
that.
Merber, go call Merber up and tell him that that needs to happen.
Coach, I have a quick shout out sent in by Coach Pick.
Sure.
Uh, Patrick Allen of Manchester Township Middle School won the Ocean County
I
1600
saw
in
that.
in
Yes.
458.14, then came back and got second in the 800 in 215. Great job to
Awesome.
everyone there. I mean, that's some good running, and it was some brutal wind on Monday. It was a raw, cold day, and to be able to run that double. I mean, I've been at those meets. They're you don't have as much time as you would think. If you used to
No,
a high school meet, it's a
they
lot.
want to snap
So
those meets out there in middle
shout
school.
out, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
awesome. I'm happy for the future of Manchester continuing the great tradition there, and
Yep.
Pick honestly being such a massive part of why that middle school is such a great feeder program
Yep.
for Coach Griffin, the high school, and
Always
shout out
has
to
been.
all
Yep.
middle school coaches for what they do, the ones that are really dialed in and really working hard to do feeder programs. It's
It's
not easy
such
to, and
uh,
Dave, it's
it's
not
such
easy to
a
coach
testament.
sixth graders to eighth graders. It
No,
really isn't.
no, it's not. Been
'Cause
there, done that, and it's a testament to just really having a pure joy in coaching. Knowing that your role is to get these kids ready to run at that next level and teaching them as much as you can at the age that they are, and then knowing that you're handing them off to a great coach. It's such a great relationship if it's done right, and it's such an asset to the high school program.
I mean, Pick's relationship with the high school as well, being a longtime high school
Yeah,
coach too. Like,
awesome,
he eats, sleeps, and breathes blue
fantastic.
and gold. And I mean, the biggest challenge is when you can't get outside with the middle schoolers because they all smell and they don't put deodorant on yet. So I'm kidding, but yeah. So one of the things that I noticed here, Dave, jumping back to the
Yeah,
Grand Slam, you were talking about the timing when we first looked at this, and while it's a little better, there's still massive gaps. Let's look at the first one, women's 400-meter hurdles. You're going to get them on the track at 39. You're going to introduce them for probably 2 or 3 minutes.
yeah.
They're going to run the race for a minute.
They're gonna do
And then you still have,
the interview. They're gonna do their victory lap. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's gonna move a lot quicker.
yeah, it should. I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to cut out the studio, because if it's just like a minute,
I
do
mean,
you really need the studio, or can you have
that's
commentary up from on the track coming
that's the
in?
only part to me that's like it's they haven't figured out yet how to go from John Anderson and that group
They shouldn't.
and then
They
up
should.
up to the Blizzard. They should have one or the other just be the primary caller.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I think that I don't mind having the studio people, beginning of the meet
Right.
and end of the meet. And even if you want to bring them in like after, I don't know, like right when they're setting up or getting ready for the 3K or something, or after the
Yeah.
3K, like a middle of the meet, come in, check in, do some more highlights, quick recap, and then back. Like that's fine. But in between every single race is incredibly dicey.
Yeah.
I hope that they nix that, because I
Listen,
love
I
the
mean,
people that are involved there.
we're gonna get to this more later, but I really like how Float Track is doing
Yeah,
their
we'll
thing
talk about
as
flow
as
later.
opposed to kind of like I think Grand Slam can maybe take more of what they're doing with like their pre and post and things like that, and it's just not as confusing.
So I want to jump to this real quick, and this is what commissioner and founder and everything Michael Johnson had to say
Like,
about switching from 3 days to 2 days of Philly, and I wanted to make sure we got his words here. Michael Johnson said, "Well, we made the decision to condense our schedule in Philadelphia into 2 high-octane and intense days of combat racing." Combat racing actually sounds hilarious. I wonder if they're gonna like give them weapons. We could you imagine watching Grant Fisher with like a crowbar, like whacking everybody in the 3K, like a Road Rash video game? Anyway,
how does your mind go there that
it
quickly?
says combat racing. I just think of like MMA on the track. You don't say who does combat in racing. There is no combat. Like you're not
Fair enough.
fighting each other. Anyway, we want to be the most flexible, adaptive, and fan-first league in sports, and we believe making these changes will improve the Grand Slam track experience for all.
What I like is that they are listening to feedback. They are
Yes,
trying to adapt and make changes. Like they're not set on whoa, this is what we came up with. They seem to be pretty versatile and willing to make adjustments on the fly to try to put out the best product. So I definitely like that aspect from what I've seen because there's been changes at almost at every meet. So
great transparency. That's what I
yeah,
like to see. Some
yeah.
transparency. Almost an admittance of 2 3 days is too long. Now, curious if they're going to keep this going for the final meet. So, are they going to go back to 3 day for the final meet? Was this just a hiccup in terms of scheduling that maybe they're not talking about? Maybe Friday wasn't available, but who knows?
I think
Right now, it's 2 day.
I think that will all depend on
We'll see.
how this one goes.
We'll see. So, our buddy Matthew Santos comes in and says, "Did Usain Bolt run yet?" No, but his daughter did, and she won her race with one shoe. The other day, she full lost her shoe and she won the
Saw
race,
that.
so that's pretty awesome. Her daughter, I don't know how old his daughter is. I think she's just getting into high school or middle school. But yeah, no, pretty cool. She won it with
Yeah.
one shoe, so I was happy with that. And then also, Grand Slam made another announcement because people were thinking, if I had a ticket for Friday, what the hell am I going to do?
Right.
Here it's answered. Grand Slam put out this announcement. If you purchased a Friday ticket, fans who purchase fans I can't speak. Fans who purchase Friday only tickets will automatically receive a full refund. Fans who purchase ticket packages that included Friday will automatically receive a partial refund for their Friday part of their ticket. This process is expected to take 5 to 7 business days and will begin on Friday, May 16th. Fans with further questions should contact tickets at pobox.upenn.edu. Saturday and Sunday tickets are good as is. So good
Here's
on
an
them.
angle that I didn't think of, and I don't like this. I just feel, people were so excited. They bought their tickets for Friday night. I mean, it's weird because I love the new format, but I didn't think of this angle that those people who bought these tickets who were all pumped to go to a track meet. This is again track and field saying we don't care, we don't care, and I don't like it. I just like
Here's what they do.
but here's my thing. Like, are they that sold out? Like, you can't say you can use that a ticket on Saturday
And
or on
that's exactly what
Sunday.
I was saying. They
Like,
should have comped
like
them
that
the
just seems
ticket.
like not just say you can't come. Like, here, use it. Like
Well,
that'll
the right
bring
thing
more
to do
people.
would
I mean,
be
that's a
not
big stadium, so you want that place to look as crowded as possible. Give those people a chance to come
I
either
was gonna
day.
talk about that as well, but the right thing to do for me with this is you comp them that Friday because it was your mistake, and you invite them on pick a day on Saturday and
Yeah,
Sunday to come for free. Do not make them pay. There was, if it's Friday only. If you were a package person, I'm okay with just a partial refund because you were
yeah,
going
yeah.
all 3 days
Fine,
anyway.
fine.
Or you know what I mean? That's fine. But if it was a Friday only thing, and they were sitting there and hoping to see, because maybe let's go back to that
Maybe
original
Sid's
Friday
running
schedule real quick.
credit. You know.
Maybe they were excited to see that men's 5K, right?
Sure.
Maybe they are big distance people. They want to see Grant run a 5K, and they really liked this lineup on day one right here.
Uh,
Now,
you, look at the first event, Sid.
yeah, exactly. And you were going to end with
That's
Grant
what
Fisher.
Sid
So
is
it's
from
like,
New Jersey. This is her home
yes,
area. Like
yes. So
that would have been huge Friday night.
and now you switch it up and okay, we're not starting with Sid anymore. And we're not ending,
But
we're ending with Sid
right,
now,
which
right?
is fine.
And
But now those people who in this area bought tickets just to go see Sid on Friday, who are like, hey, hometown girl, let's go
yeah.
see her. Now you're saying you can't see her at all? I don't like
So
that one bit. Not
exactly.
like that.
So what they should have done 100% is, as a term of goodwill, hey, you have the chance if you want to come back Friday or Saturday, we will give you a voucher, present it there. You do not have to pay. And here is something from Grand Slam as well. Like, you are a fledgling league. You need to sit there and be that league that is like, we miffed up.
Hey,
Here's a Grand Slam shirt plus the free day.
it
Enjoy.
has to be about the fans
Yes.
first because
Yes.
it hasn't been forever and it hasn't
No.
caught on. It has to be an experience that the fans like, wow, that was just an absolute blast. We got to watch great races. Like
And
you
and
have to
this
woo
is
them.
And this is something where you would get a fan for potential life if you sit there and like,
Yeah.
okay, we're disappointed we didn't get to go Friday,
Here
but
you go.
yes, we can make this work on Sunday. We can go for free. And oh, they're asking what my shirt size is. I'm gonna get a Grand Slam shirt.
And
And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Give them like the black logo shirt, which
it'll
I'm
fill the
actually kind of
stadium.
and I want to point that out real quick to anyone watching from Grand Slam. I went to go look because I actually want to buy a Grand Slam shirt because I think they're dope. I like the home tire logo. They don't sell just the logo on a shirt.
No?
What are we doing? What are you guys doing? That should be like your main shirt. Like they have the cool ones with all the meats like there. They have the
Yeah.
Philly, they have Miami. Like I like that. That's fine. But your main shirt should just be like a black, white, or like heather gray, like gray with the Grand Slam logo because I do like the logo. I think it's
Yeah.
clean. I
It's
think it's
cool.
cool. Like I feel like you would get so many purchases. And maybe I'm just an idiot and I couldn't find it, but I was looking for it because I wanted to buy a shirt and I want to wear it on
Well,
the damn show.
you just brought up a very interesting fact that maybe you just couldn't find it.
I'm not that smart, so maybe that's the case. If anyone from
Sure,
Grand
I
Slam is
cannot find
watching,
it either. So
but so
no, but
yeah, that
Grand Slam, do better with that. Let those people in. Plus, I mean, it's a huge stadium. It'll fill it up. I
so
don't see
let's
the reason why like this wasn't even thought. Like this is the first that I've even seen this, and I thought about it in 20 seconds. Like I don't see how this cannot be a thing. Like this, there has to be an update.
let's talk about that stadium real quick because this is going to be something that I'm going to bring up because I want to go to this tab. I did a Google search right here, Google, and right there, the National Stadium, which is where the first meet was at. Right,
Yeah,
look at this right here. The capacity was 35,000. Right, they were nowhere near filling that for all 3 days. It was
no, I
embarrassing.
don't know if they would have filled it if you brought all 3 days together.
No, no, they would not have. And they were giving away tickets towards the end. Okay. That is an open secret that they were handing them out free and they couldn't fill it. Now,
Not so open, but yes,
so here's the problem. I did another Google search. Look at Franklin Field's capacity almost 53,000. I'm sorry. if you couldn't fill Kingston and Jamaica, which was a mecca,
You need
you're
to
Philly, one of the things that
for like soccer games at like Giant Stadium. You need to just everyone sits here, boom, and just don't have cameras pan anywhere
they
else.
need to be smart and not pan to the ones. And also, you run into some problems here, right? Because number one, you're not filling that. There's no way you're not filling
I'm
that. There's
telling you,
not a
people
question that
might
you
not
can.
see this. You would fill it more if it wasn't the weekend of groups. I'm telling you, so
And
many
I'm
people
telling
from
you also,
Jersey can't go.
I looked it up, Dave.
Yeah,
The Phillies are in town for both days. That's going to hurt your casual fan that might just want to go see a sporting event or take their kids, because
true.
people that have ran track have great memories of Penn Relays. So shit, there's a meet at Franklin. Sorry, part of my French. But I'm gonna go and maybe go watch that meet. And this, to me, when you were looking, I think they kind of overestimated the draw that they were going to have, because
I mean,
you're not filling
it seems so.
53,000 stadium.
I mean, based upon what we've seen, you would not think so. No.
And even, Penn Relays, right? We talked to Jim that day, and he was at the race and he was asking random people on the street in Philly while the festival was going on, are you going to go to Penn Relays? And every single person there had no idea what was going on.
That blew
That's
my mind.
and that's
That I was like,
significantly bigger than what Grand Slam's going to be. So
in that area. I mean, I listen.
that's a concern for me. That's a
I
big concern.
I do think this has the chance to be the biggest crowd, especially on Sunday, because Sid, I'm telling you, she is beloved,
But
and
here's the thing, Dave. If they get 15,000 fans, which is friggin' great, right?
right.
It's going to look awful.
Depends
15,000 fans
on
in a stadium of 50.
depends
If
on
they
the camera work and where
Agreed,
they sit them.
do not show the crowd. Like,
No.
honestly, don't show the crowd.
And don't mention it.
Yeah, don't mention the crowd. Don't show the crowd. If you're gonna show it, show a small pocket. And like you said, Dave, block off parts. Let
Yep.
them only fit like the bottom. You know what I mean? Like, and try not to, because that optics are everything. They can get 20,000 fans in a 53,000 stadium. It's not going to look good. And that's a great number for a track and field meet. 20K is a great number for a track
I
and
mean,
field meet.
they have hidden that in the past in soccer
100%.
games. I mean, it can
100%.
be
So
done. Or I'm going to be the optimist and say we're going to have 40,000.
here's the thing. If they
I
can
think
get
Sunday is going to be the biggest crowd because you're going to get everybody who's local will be able to just go.
if they can get to half, I
That
think
is
if they can get to
25.
26,000 there, and
That's good.
that'd be fine. Half, it would be great in that stadium. It'd be loud, it'd be bumping. You
Yeah.
can film most of it and kind of block off the nosebleeds. Great. They
They
could
need a Jamaican section, just like at
they
Penn Relays.
they need a Jamaican section, but they
Serving up
also
food.
that is my concern, because optics are everything, especially with the new league. Because if you get 10,000 fans, that's awesome for the league. It's probably their biggest number by far. But at the
Listen,
same time, it would look bad. Optics are everything.
if you don't think dropping it down to 2 days has anything to do with that, because the
100%.
demand becomes less, so
Yeah.
more people will buy and they'll be in the stands rather than 2 days rather than 3. I mean, to me, I think it'll look good. I really think that they've learned a lot from the first 2 broadcasts, and they're really starting to kind of find what is their niche and then what is working.
God,
I
I
just
hope
hope it
so.
has
I
staying
hope
power,
it looks good. I
you know?
hope it looks good,
Good.
because that was my concern, because when I was thinking about this, I'm like, they're at Franklin Field. Franklin Field's massive. It's a big, beautiful, beautiful track complex. I understand wanting to have a high level meet there. It's
Sure.
conducive to hosting world class meets. It does every single year, but that's just, there's some days at Penn Relays, the biggest festival around, that it's empty, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not having the Championship of America days, like there's not that many people there, and that's for the biggest track festival of
Listen,
outdoor.
you go
So
there
it's
early
tough.
Thursday, there's a lot of empty seats. Or
Yeah,
well, it's well, not that empty, but like everyone's like concourses or they're
you
outside.
probably have 10,000 people there.
I
Like,
mean, I think if you had everyone on the grounds, even because like it took forever to get into this year. Like if
yeah,
you had everyone who was there in the stadium, it would look pretty full.
would
But
look better.
everyone's just everywhere.
Yeah, so
So
that's
they
just
need to
my
get
thing.
everyone in their seats. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
as much as we love all the things that are outside and they are needed, it definitely draws people from outside, outside of their actual stadium to actually watch what is going on. So then camera pans, it might not look as good. I'm kind of
Yep.
nitpicking here, but
Yeah. Hey, listen, but that was my hope, and that's one of my concerns,
mine
right?
too.
Because
Yeah.
if it
I didn't
doesn't
think of that, but yeah.
if the optics, and again, optics, Miami looked so good because they filled Anson. They had people standing along the fences. The demand looked there. It was a
And I mean,
5,000 seat stadium, which is
let's be
great.
honest. When does Miami ever not look good?
Miami looks good. Miami's awesome. But again, 5K, they filled the 5K, no problem. They had well over 5,000 fans there,
Yeah,
which is
that was good.
fantastic. It looked
It
great.
looked
It
fun.
sounded good. Yeah, it looked like a blast. Home stretch was amazing.
The one
Like,
thing I'll
that's
say,
what you want.
is the athletes seem to love it.
Yeah, well, it's always better when you're performing in front of a packed crowd,
But
regardless of
here's the
what that
thing.
number is.
Do the
So,
fans love it? I mean, I think the athletes would love it just because, like, no matter what it was, because of the prize purse, you know?
I mean, which they also need to stop mentioning. Honestly, they need to maybe mention it once the Grand Slam champion wins. Then they could say, they earned their 100K, because the Diamond League every single second doesn't go, well, they're racing for a million. They're racing for a million. Like,
I know.
it's known, it's well known. They need to, I get it. The money's unprecedented for track
For
athletes
track,
to
yes.
get, but at the same time, it's like you said, it needs to be less about the athlete and more about the fan and what the fan's
Sure,
getting out of it.
sure.
But speaking of what the fans getting out of it, let's go over and find out some of the matchups. Now, I have to say, this is a bugaboo for me. I'm going to click on this. Dave, tell me what's wrong with this graphic.
The names are in red, and old people like me have a very hard time seeing them.
I could barely see it. And I'm happy that they put the names on the right side when I click on it, because now I know who's there. But this is a cool graphic. I like it. My nitpick, again, the names are in red. And if you took away the side, I don't know what group they're in. I don't know that this is the mid distance group if I'm not a hardcore dedicated track fan. Like,
Sure.
a track fan knows Georgia Hunter Bell, knows Naya Atkins, knows Jaribe. I always mess up her name, Welteji.
Yeah.
We know who they are, right?
Right.
But if you're trying to get somebody who's just kind of coming into the sport, it's like, okay, what do they run? Why should we care?
Right.
What are they running? So it should say, mid distance group 8 1500, right?
Or
So
yeah,
you can look up what they run. You can
or at
look and say,
least 8
okay,
and 15. You know, you
8
put
and 15.
has to be
Yeah,
somewhere.
something. So if
I get
you're a
that.
more
All right.
casual
I get
person,
that.
yeah, you can look up and be like, okay, what does Nia Atkins run in the 15 and the 8? Like, and run and look and go, oh, okay, she's fat. You know what I mean? So, but I do like this group. Um,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's interesting. I'm interested to see Nia run the 15 against this group,
Yeah.
and
You know,
equally interested to
running
see
a lot of 8s, so
Georgia and Jaribe go against Nia in the 8, because Nia is the 800 specialist and the other two are more 15 and higher. So this is the fun of Grand Slam,
it
when
is.
you get to
I love it.
see these differences, right? So are we thinking, is Nia going to pull a Wanyani?
I just haven't seen her run at 15. So, I'm just not sure. I don't know. Man. Yeah, I'll go Akins.
Well, I mean,
With the upset.
the thing is, they're going to have to go out fast in the 15 to try and break Nia, right? Because if they don't and they let her hang around, she has the wheels.
We saw that,
And now
on the men's side.
I'm not
Yes.
counting out Hunter Bell, because we
No,
know
no, no, no.
Georgia has a great kick. And again, to count out Deribe, like, this is the fun of the Grand Slam, is to try and do this chess match, right? Which category is going to be supreme?
Correct.
And I think it comes down to the 1500-meter specialists need to race, because if not, the 800-meter runners will probably outkick them, and then they have no chance in the 8.
Yeah.
So, and going back real quick, I do want to, let's go back to this graphic.
We
Who
forgot
has the
one shout out, and I'm so frustrated we forgot it.
who is it?
Clayton Murphy.
Oh my God, yes. Let's we're gonna full screen. I'm gonna share this real quick, but because I want to talk about this in a second. But we're gonna come back and we are gonna full screen, because Dave, thank you for reminding me. Clayton, he came on the show when we were less than nobody.
Right.
We're still nobodies now, but
Nobody's
at
right.
least we have a minor following, right? He came on before anybody listened really to the show outside of your parents and mine. And you know what I mean? Like,
True, true.
he is an individual that I think meant a lot for American middle distance runners. Being a, bronze medalist, 142 guy,
Yeah.
just a special runner. And I saw someone ask this question: is it possible that an Olympic medalist could feel like they've had an unfulfilled career in the way that Georgia came out, where it feels weird that Clayton Murphy has accomplished so much,
Correct.
but it always feels like he could have done more? because I feel like Clayton's talent level was so immense.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
eh,
I mean, it's
congrats to him though. What a great
oh,
career.
listen, I mean, and I think one of his biggest things, on his legacy, and I'm not sure if this even talked about, he really helped bridge that gap that every kid think, him and Nick Simmons thought that they had to go to D1 and to go to some big
Yeah.
time school. Like, they're both from smaller schools and they were able to win Olympic medals. Like, coachings are great everywhere. So I think that that's one thing that I'm not sure people talk about enough, is that, how open it was, and how proud that he was from
Yeah.
where he was from, and it's, he tried different things. He changed coaches. He was with Alberto for a little bit, but
Yeah.
when he ran his best, he was back with his college coach. And I just love that he stayed with him through the majority of his whole career. And he was just a great ambassador, but he looks so happy being with his
Oh my
wife
God.
and
Yeah.
his kid. Like, he looks like he's so ready to just embrace this next part of his life and just live a great, fulfilling life. I hope he stays involved in the sport, because he's
Me
given
too.
us so much, and I think he can give us so much more with just his intellect and his knowledge of the sport. So thank you, Clayton, for coming on our little tiny show and for all that you've given this wonderful sport.
His toughness, his tenacity, and to be able to kind of grab that torch right away post Simmons and Dwayne Solomon and things like that. Like, because that was a big deal with Simmons and Solomon
Yeah,
and
listen.
being on that world stage, and Solomon
He would
being,
battle Brazier, like it was.
yeah, and he battled Brazier during Brazier, and when Brazier was setting the American record and things like that. And Clayton was just a tough guy that every time he towed the line, it didn't matter what stage he ran out, he was tough as hell. And you knew there was a chance that he was going to outkick anybody. So, and, beat them there. So, uh, congrats on your retirement, Clayton.
Yes.
You well deserved, one of the best American middle distance runners of all time.
Live your best
And
life. Live your
yeah,
best life.
yeah, and like Dave said, I hope you provide more to this sport, because you have a lot more to provide. Just your passion for it was obvious
Oh, yeah.
when you came on our show about what you believe the sport needs, and I think the sport needs more
And
individuals
that's
like
just like,
you.
and his thoughts about, like what the athlete can do to help the sport grow,
Yes,
and how he can
yes,
be more interactive with fans. Like, he had such amazing ideas about things, but he was just kind of at the end of his career,
yeah.
but things that he suggested that maybe bigger athletes should be doing. And it was he was just great. He was just a breath of fresh air, and such an enjoyable person to just, like, I have Clayton Murphy's number in my telephone now. That's just freaking cool.
It's really cool. And again, congrats on your retirement. Thank you for reminding us of that, Dave, because he's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, so back to the show.
Didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, that's okay.
I was
I
way
love
over.
it. So I wanted to jump back to this because we were talking about kind of the chess match and the matchups. So I want to see who has the advantage for this short distance group. And right now, if you're looking at it, Nia Atkins, let's see. So the women's 15 is on day one, and the women's 8 is on day two. So I'm looking at this. Nia Atkins has the advantage, right? Because this
I would
forces
think
the
so.
women to have to go out hard on day one in the 15.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on, like, how much base training she's done, and there's so many factors, because like, yeah, I mean, high school kids come back the next day all the time, and it rarely affects their overall time, or their ability to run fast. It just, like, but they're not as specialized as some of these athletes are. So I'm definitely curious to see. I kind of like 15s first. I don't know. This is gonna be fun.
This is absolutely going to be fun.
This is
Um,
why I like the Grand Slam model. It's very
and
intriguing.
the thing is, I'm looking at her world athletics. I don't know the last time that if when Naya ran a 15. I don't have a time for her in the 15 here. Here, I'll just skip to this real quick. We're looking at her personal bests. I mean, she's dipped under 2 minutes this year. We
Yeah,
see that for both, that
she's been looking
her
better as of late.
and her PR
Yeah.
is this 157.36. So she has wheels, but I don't see a 1500 here. So it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be interesting. She has that in her back pocket. So that's one matchup. I'm excited for that.
Oh, yeah.
Then let's jump to this matchup. This might be the matchup of
That's my By far, that is my favorite matchup.
Yeah, the short distance group of the men, again, hard to read with the red there. Please, Grand Slam, please, for the love of God, never use red on that again. But and if anything, do red for the bigger ones and make the name in white so the names pop. Anyway, I digress. Looking at this right here, you have Hobbs Kessler, who is one of our favorite athletes
I
on this show, right?
Probably my favorite pro.
You have Josh Hoey, who is the indoor gold medalist in the
On
800.
fire.
And then you have the Miami Slam champion, Josh Kerr, running over here. And we know Josh is tough as nails. I think this is Hobbs Kessler's to lose. I'm not going to lie.
If before this indoor season, I don't know, man. I mean, Kerr's nasty too. Man.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I mean,
Kerr can't run a 143. Hobbs Kessler can.
Well, that is true.
Hobbs Kessler can run 330 and 143. He has
so
both
can
of
Hoey, man. I mean,
I don't know. Hoey's
against
15.
Hoey. I mean,
can Hoey run a 330? I've never seen him run a 330.
Absolutely.
Maybe a sub 335, definitely.
Have you seen that dude's house?
I remember we talked about it with Davin, but
track at his house.
That's fine. It's all well and dandy, but I'm thinking.
But all right, so here's what I'm breaking down. I don't think Kerr can hang with them, and I think he's a distant third in the 8 if it's run properly. Kerr can definitely win the 15.
I mean, when you remember, Cole and Yard are still there.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
So it's like obviously like Cole Hocker and Yard are going to push that 1500.
Jeez, Cole, this is going to be. I mean, we're going to talk later, about another mile that's coming up, but this is damn good too. Man, of these 3, I'm going to go. My heart says Kessler. My gut says Hoey.
So Hoey has a PR, just looking at this right here, World Athletics again. His 1500 meter PR set earlier this year, February, indoor was 333.66. So again, indoor, he can run faster. So he does have those wheels, and that 143.24 is deadly. Now let's go.
I guess on paper, you have to go Hobbs. I mean, he did make the Olympics in the 8 and the 15 just last year. So,
I mean, I think if you're looking at it,
he just hasn't really raced much since the indoor season, so you don't know. But I mean, these guys they're always ready to go. So,
yeah. So I'm excited. This group is going to be so much fun.
Oh my God, this is unreal. Back-to-back days, we get to watch them all battle.
I do like this comment right here from Mark Williams. Kerr's the 1500 meter world champion. They choose to put Miami Slam champion. Like, I get it. You want to promote your own thing, but yeah, that is interesting. I think you put this world championship there more. I'm not going to lie.
That is funny. I did not even notice that. That's
no, but thank you for the comment. I don't know who this is, Mark Williams, but thank you. I appreciate that comment. Kind of like bringing it like he's a world champion and you're putting your Grand Slam. But again, when you're trying to market and make your thing bigger, I get Grand Slam doing that. I don't blame them, but I just found that to be kind of funny. And let's get up to the final matchup, and we'll talk about why this is the final matchup right before we really get into it, because Hyatt, I was looking for the matchups, the competitors for Philly. They don't have it on their website. If you go to competitors, you get all the competitors, not just Philly. You get every challenger. And then if you click on Philly, it's all of Philly's challengers, not compartmentalized into their disciplines. Grand Slam. If you know, but once you get your challengers in order, there should be sheets of what the athletes are competing. And you have 8 of them per group. It's not like it's crazy. Like, we should be able to see all 8 competitors in each group for your meet, so we can look at the matchups and enjoy in their PRs. Like, I get it. They're trying to do something untraditional, but I was only able to find their 3 matchup boards here.
Right.
And not be able to find the full list so we can really go over it. That's one thing that, again, and Michael Johnson, Merber, I'm not being critical to throw shade. I'm being critical because I want you guys to succeed. And this is something that, as a fan, as someone who enjoys your product, that is going to watch it, I would love to be able to go onto your website and be able to go to the Philly Slam and be able to find the spot of this full slate of racers versus challengers, who it is, PRs, they're best in this. Like,
yeah, I mean,
we're nerds. We're numbers nerds. We go and we look at these friggin' things in high school for no reason.
That's also something that you could do for any high school meet.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
So
it's not a hard concept.
yes, and it's the moment you have your challengers
And
locked in. I
what
get it.
is
Before
every
you have
person who isn't who knows track do? They look at the entries
yeah,
or they look at
yeah.
the matchups. You know, that's like all right. I don't care where the meet is. It's who's running, what events, what time.
And it's like, I mean, I get it. Before you have your challengers, like it's hard, right? You're not going to do
Yeah,
that before you have your challengers up because
right.
why? Like that's not gonna benefit you in any way of just putting like, maybe you can put your racers in initially and put to be determined on that page,
Maybe,
and as it fills in, you fill it
but I
in.
mean,
That could be interesting too. But
it's
it's
also
something. It's a
hard.
necessity in track and field. We
It
need
is,
that.
but it's also hard in track. Is like, what are we? We're still 9 days out. Do you know how much can change in this sport in 9 days?
Agreed. But here's the thing: you take
But
that
that's
risk
part
so
of
we can start.
the right. But
Let us
that's
start
part
looking at the
of the
matchup.
problem too that we're talking about is we need to market earlier so that people know what is going on. So
Well, we'll
contrast.
understand an injury we get, right? An injury we get. And I think there is pretty ironclad with the contract with if you're coming in, you're coming in, right? Like, I don't care what shape you're in by the time we get to meet day, you're competing.
For the
I do
racers,
think,
yes.
yes, so they can promote it because they are trying to promote the matchups. I give them that. And we are 10 days out, 9 days out. So they are trying to, but when you can promote the matchup, I should have a list of all 8 of your racers
Sure.
there that I can analyze their PRs and things like that. So we could start to crunch that down here on the fan side. So
Right.
a minor criticism, but also a semi-major one for track people, because we are just
So
little.
are these the only flyers that they have out?
The only 3 flyers for key matchups are these 3.
They're just saying key matches, but they're only showing the challengers, right? No, 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 no,
N-
no, no.
no, no, it's all of them.
So
So
then
it's
why
a
didn't they have
key.
like a Cole in the last one? Like those were only the but no, I guess Kurt.
They're kind of trying to promote,
Here's
like
my
they're
so,
trying to build
all
this
right.
rivalry.
So here's my question: if they are trying to promote the event, why is Sid not on this poster? She is their marquee person. She's hometown person. Now this can go both ways. I like it and I don't like it. I like it from a pure track nerd perspective that she's not the favorite in this section. So let's promote those that at this time have faster PRs and have just been better in these events. From a fan's perspective and drawing in fans, this is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen. So
So I
I see
saw
both
this.
sides.
I saw this. I think Aaron Brown reposted this. Don't get me wrong, but I forget who did it on X who said it. Apparently, Sid has only made 5 social media posts about Grand Slam in 2, almost 3 meets now. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. You're the face of the sport,
You would
the
like more.
face of this league. 5 posts. I get it. They're marketing her own way. She's doing the interviews. She's doing things like that.
She
Grand
is doing
Slam's
good
doing
there.
it, but that's Grand Slam doing it. That they're doing their job of marketing. You need to have more than 5 posts.
Is
I mean,
but
if you want this league to succeed,
Is that her job though? I
hell
mean
yeah.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
like she's already probably being way out of her comfort zone, but by doing
I
interviews,
don't
like she
care
is
you're a pro
promoting.
athlete. Don't be a pro athlete then. I'm sorry. Don't be a pro athlete because the bottom line is, you do things out of your comfort zone in life, right? To succeed.
Sure,
And that needs to be something in the contract where they need to, especially like, and I don't know, I haven't tracked all the athletes, all the racers, but like this isn't on the challengers. All the people that are contracted as racers should be consistently talking about this league. There's a
sure,
month in between each freaking race.
sure.
5 posts in 3 months?
You would definitely like more,
A
but
post a week. A post a week is enough. And, maybe 2 on the week leading up to the races. Like, I think that is more than enough because then you are getting consistent. It is to her fans in a consistent way. And I don't think that's too much to ask. A post a week
I guess, I
for
mean,
all
but
of your
like
racers.
everything is on her. Like she has to perform. Like she's doing all these interviews. Like it's just not who she feels comfortable being.
But
So
here's the thing, Dave, that doesn't matter.
it
Okay, I'm
does if
sorry.
it
It
starts.
does not
I mean,
matter.
but isn't her changing groups? Isn't that enough? Like hey, fans,
Who the hell knows
you are
she's changing
tired
groups?
of watching me just absolutely destroy everybody. Here you go. And then she's probably going to try the long sprint
But
group too.
why are
So
we making excuses for the fact that she's not marketing this? She
I'm not
made the
making
announcement, but who
excuses. I'm
cares?
just saying it's not all on her.
If you're the biggest athlete in the sport, it is. I'm
I mean,
sorry. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Would we be okay with
it's such a
LeBron
weird
not
time,
caring and
man.
marketing? Would we be
Sometimes,
okay if
sure.
MJ wasn't being the face or if Gretzky wasn't truly being the face or, you don't get
Alright,
away
so
with those
alright,
things.
so knowing Michael Jordan, you think even if he played now, he would do and he wouldn't post a thing.
100% he would.
No way. No way.
Because he'd have his brand because he cares about Jordan brand.
He wouldn't do it? Alright, so maybe
But
Sid should have someone do it for her.
should have somebody do it for her.
Maybe that.
He would get in front of the camera if he needed to in this generation. If he needed to do a 30-second clip
I
every
just
once in a while of
I
him
just
talking.
feel I feel like she's given the fans way more than she ever has. So, like, I don't know.
But that's not why are we so complacent as why do we baby these athletes so much?
We're not babying
Why?
them. She's
We
she's
baby,
already doing way more than she's ever done.
and it was never enough. I'm not going to be happy just because she's
In the
doing a little
past,
more.
I agree. Listen, she's I
Are
don't
we
want to
supposed
sound
to
like
crown her because she's
I
doing
listen,
8 races in a season?
yes,
No.
she's been running 3 or 4 in a season. This is awesome that we get to watch her 8 times
I think it's awesome, but I think it's also okay
and
to
that
be critical.
she's doing it. No, of course it is. And we've both been critical of her in the past about not, about signing up for races and
Yeah, yeah, and dropping and things like
and then
that.
grabbing, but she's not doing this. She's where she's gonna be. She's stepping on the line. She's dominating. She's doing interviews. Like she's doing way more than she ever has. Like I,
Agreed.
I would like to see more from her in that standpoint, but if she starts doing that and then maybe she's not running as fast, I don't know how her headspace is. So it's hard for me to speak. But yes, I would like to see her do
I
everything.
don't honestly, I don't understand not being able to do that as an elite athlete
I don't understand it either, but
because, like,
she's
if
already
you're an
doing.
elite athlete, you should be able to do that.
Now, if she was doing this year what she's done in the past, I would be very critical. But she has changed it up. She is a lot more available, and she's doing more interviews. So
And it's
I'm
not
giving
even
her
like
credit.
taking a video though, Dave. I'm talking about maybe taking a quick picture of her in like a starting pose. You could do it in her backyard. You know what I mean? Like take a picture or something and just make a
I get it.
caption or
I
something and
get it.
have somebody create a little graphic for you. She could do 30 pictures in one day and then spread them out and have somebody create graphics for her to promote for her.
I get it.
It's not difficult. And so I am going to continue to be critical until Sid, because here's the thing, this sport needs to grow and we need
Oh,
Sid in order
we
for
need
it to grow.
Sid. Like
Whether she wants to be
she's
this
bigger
important or not,
than oh,
unfortunately she is.
I think she's the biggest star that we
She's
have
the
on the US
Gretzky.
side.
She's the Gretzky of our sport.
Yeah.
Because she's doing what Usain Bolt did in the 100 and 200 and the 400 hurdles. Now, I would love to see her go and break a 400-meter world record. I think that
Well,
would be great.
she's gonna
I
run I think the last Grand Slam. So like to her credit, like she is changing it up. She because
Yes,
people are getting
race-wise,
because
yes.
I think she was, like understanding that fans were like, all right, Sid's running again. Like her greatness unfortunately was losing its luster because she was winning by so much. She was
That open
so
400
dominant.
was boring too because we knew
Like
she was going against a
she's
bunch
just
of non-natural
so
400
like
meter
I
runners.
mean, she's just so dominant that I'm so glad that she's challenging herself.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe she needs this too to be, hey, you know what? Like I'm not saying that she ever didn't, but like to really fall back in love with the sport and just, maybe get beat here. Cause I mean, nobody has her as the favorite going into this meet. I mean, you can't.
I'm already overlooking this meet for the final meet because if she runs in that 4-2 group and it's Gabby,
Whew,
it's her, it's Melissa Jefferson, I mean,
Paulino.
Paulino. But even looking at this one, let's not talk discount Masai Russell right here.
No,
Okay. Like Masai Russell is the cream of the crop in that 110, that 100 hurdles.
yeah,
So let's talk about this matchup real quick. Cause again, Sid, I love you. I am critical because I want the sport to grow. And whether you like it or not, are a massive factor as
sure.
to if this sport grows more or not. Gabby Thomas can do everything she wants. Noah, Shakari, Mondo, Ingebrigtsen, Krauser, they can all come together and sing a freaking Beatles song and it could sound good. And it wouldn't matter if you are not there singing with them. Okay. Like that's
Sure.
unfortunate whether she wants it or not. Her talent level makes her the face of the sport. And if not now, when? Right? Like
Yeah.
that's the thing that we're going right now.
Look,
Maybe listen, Maybe Quincy can step up and be that kid in a few years, if he continues to develop. Or we have Christian Miller who's running great freaking times as well. Like maybe there's people on the outset. Maybe they're going to come
You know
up
what?
and
But
be more willing.
I do think at the moment, I think it has to be a sprinter.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think we've, it's a sprinter or 1500 miler. Milers have, and if they, the miler battle between Ingebrigtsen and Kerr and
Yeah,
Naguse,
listen, I
it's
think I
slowed down
think
a little bit.
I think if Jakob was from here, he'd be pretty big star because of he's boisterous.
If Jakob was from here, we'd have people like you, we'd have people like Aaron Brown, we'd have people like all of them hating him because he talks shit. Because for you guys, a track guy just needs to go in there and be stoic and not say anything. And just go in and do your race and
Not
shit
all the
and
time.
walk away and
No,
robot. So
I've admitted I have liked the Jakob Kerr stuff.
because they're not from here.
Well, it's because like it's just it's foreign to me in this sport. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's bad at all. It's just not what I grew up. It's always been a very
Here's the
respected thing,
thing.
and maybe it's time that we do get a little more
Noah got a bronze and everyone is crushing him because of his antics. Jakob missed the podium and we still crown him. Okay? I'm sorry. It has everything to do with the fact that he's not an American. Okay, like we still look at Jakob. I get it. Jakob has world records, so it's a little different between him and Noah, right? Jakob has that cachet, but at the same time, even if Noah set a world record and still does what he does and then lost, you would still have the large swath of people hate him instead of supporting him, who's actually bringing eyes to the sport. I'm sorry. I mean, I get it. I understand he's not natural. I understand it's corny. It is corny, but
so
corny brings the kids.
it's so corny.
Corny brings the kids, not the adults. Okay.
No, I mean even high school kids like that's just corny. Like
Yeah, but to ask one of them
like
if they
just,
would go train with Noah Lyles in high
just
school,
too
just
theatrical. Like
one.
Bolt had this. That was cool. Simple
Bolt
signature,
also talked mess.
but he was respectful.
Bullshit.
He was
Respectful after he beat them. That's it. The only time he was respectful is when he dusted
He
them. He was not
wasn't like
respectful
no,
before that.
like he
We didn't have social media that
at
way.
least no, but even in like interviews, like he at least acknowledged his opponents, like as a formidable person. Yeah, like he might say, "I'm going to beat you," but it wasn't like you're like just to discredit them.
I
Like
mean,
that.
he acknowledged Blake and Powell because they were his countrymen. I
No,
don't think he cared about Gatlin. I don't think he cared
he,
about
he
Tyson
respected.
Gay.
He respected,
He didn't like them. He hated them.
well,
They didn't like each other.
and they shouldn't, but
No,
they,
they shouldn't.
but they respected. Like Noah's just too dismissive for me, and that's why, like and like the whole COVID thing. I don't know. I don't know.
I get it. I get it. But
I,
it's like, I think we are,
oh, but
I
yeah,
understand you can be rubbed the wrong way, but
but we need him though. We need
if
him,
Jakob
and
or
we need Sid.
Kerr were Americans and did what they did and had performed the way they performed, we would have already destroyed them
Maybe there's something to
overall.
that.
Because they're Americans
I haven't
and
really thought of that.
yeah, like if Hocker or Naguse had that type of antics, and we would have loved Hocker if he'd have won, but what has Hocker won since? What has Naguse really done since getting that world record? And they're very quiet. They're exactly what we want our athletes to be. Go run your race and show no emotion if you win and no emotion if you lose. Just shake hands, walk off the track. Great job, guys. Boy Scouts. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Nobody
I'm
wants
done with the Boy Scout crap.
that drastic. Just have some respect. That's all I
No,
care.
you're
No, you
competing
need
for
no,
money.
you
Hell
can do
no.
any antics, just have some respect because there's people out there working just as hard.
Respect maybe behind the doors. Out front, I don't care about animosity. It's
If it's
business. It's
agreed
all
upon,
business.
okay, like let's go out there, talk some trash for sport, cool. But
It
when
should be understood.
but there's a reason why
That
no
should
other
be
sprinter
understood.
likes Noah Lyles. Like they all
No other sprinter likes
came
Noah
for him.
Lyles because outside of Letziel Tebejo and Kenny Bednarik, once they can't beat him. That's why they don't like Noah Lyles, and they can't beat him, and he
We'll see
rubs
this
their
year.
nose in it.
We'll see this year.
Maybe this year, maybe he's on the
I
downturn.
think he's
Listen,
going.
sprinters go down quick, but like, maybe we'll see. He's been running the 4. Maybe he's working on getting some of his sea legs up so he can run a better 2, because that's also a training tactic to get
Hope
endurance.
45 is not his best effort in the 400.
No, but again, listen,
You lose
like
in
I
high
said,
school races.
I will. I understand people don't like Noah. I think people only reason they don't like Noah,
It's not that I
yes,
don't
he's
like him.
corny,
It's
but
just
it's
that
because he's American.
it's just too like I don't know, like to do all those antics and then to get smoked. You just look like a fool.
and he's willing to look like a fool to get eyes on the sport.
True. And I don't know. He just
Where here's the thing:
sprint show just I don't know. He
who's
just
going to
couldn't do it.
remember that Letziel Tebejo won a gold medal in 10 years?
We will.
Who's going to remember that Noah Lyles was a member of the sport in 10 years? Everyone.
I get it.
Okay, like that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so.
To
But
make more people come to the sport. I get it.
that's the goal. Here,
That, but again, like that's where my mind battles like what I know about the sport and where the sport needs to go, which I'm all for. But it's
yeah.
sometimes there's this line where I'm like, like, do I like that? Do I not? Like, well, it's
I want to
like,
see some friggin' throwers get into a fist fight. Could you imagine those bigums just throwing hands?
no.
That would be awesome. Kidding
My
me?
my money's on Kovacs every time. That guy
I
is a
mean,
monster.
Kovacs is such a beast. But
Monster.
let's get back to the
Oh,
task
yeah,
at hand here. So let's talk about this matchup real quick. And again, this was the third and final matchup that I was able to find in terms of a poster, which again, there's so many races. I
Sid
just
will
want to
not
list.
be the favorite, and if we're speaking honestly, I don't think she's that much of a factor. But I love that she's running it. I think it's incredible and it's awesome. But I
I
don't think
think
she's a factor.
I think Sid has a chance in the 100 hurdles because she moves over hurdles almost as fast as she does on ground.
It's a different event, though, man. It's a different
She's
kind of. But
yeah,
I
but
know.
she's run the 100 before, 100 hurdles. It's not like it's
Yeah,
a
but
foreign
it's
event
been
to
a
her. She's done
long.
it.
I mean, I think she ran the 55 hurdles one time indoor,
Yeah.
maybe last year. But like, besides that, it's been a long. I mean, she's the long jump too. She was awesome in high school. But I mean, it's been a long time. I mean,
I won't count out Sid.
probably at Kentucky. I'm not counting her out. It would be. I mean, listen, she's very calculated. She might be doing some things that we don't know. She's unreal. You know, I mean, she has a great hurdle coach and Bobby
Yeah.
Kersey. I'm not going to count her out, but would I? That would be ridiculous. I mean, that would put her on a higher level. I mean, she's already way up here. That would put her like in some astronomical fear that she's probably already at, but just like at a touch, man. If she can win even one of these events and be in the running for the money here, I mean, that would be ridiculous. But that's why I love what she's doing this season. She's nobody wants to watch her run a 400-meter hurdle and a 400 again in the third Grand Slam. Seen it, done it. No, it's like she could fall. She could trip over a hurdle, get up, and win.
Here's the thing. Sid is my favorite until proven otherwise.
Okay.
Because Sid is the greatest runner in the world.
She
And
is,
it's
but
not a question.
this would be just unreal.
So
I'm all for it, man. Let's
look at this real quick. As I'm going over here, people forget that Sydney has 22-second wheels in the 200.
She's ridiculous. Listen,
So
I just don't think she's doing that much training in the 100 and the 100 hurdles. I mean,
but the thing is, you have to think that there is some training there. She's able to run a 22, then there is explosion training going on. That translates. She's running a 22. She's running mid 11s.
If Sid trained for the 100 and the 100 hurdles, she would be my favorite. Just like if she trained for the 800, there's no way she's not running like a 153 if she fully went for it. I mean, she's ridiculous.
I mean, a 153 might be a lot, but
I don't know, man.
She's not running 153. She's running a 157.
I'm
You know what? Here's the thing. There is that.
I think she could be in the 8 what she is in the 400 hurdles. I think she could be that. That's just me. I'm probably way off base, but I just think think she'd be an amazing 800-meter runner. And I hope as maybe she ages some, she goes up. But I think she'd be unreal. And call me crazy, fine, but I just think she'd be unreal.
So we'll see. Sid's my favorite. And I think we are gonna see.
I'm gonna go Russell.
I can understand that 100%. I would go Russell too if I was a betting man, but I'm thinking Sid until proven otherwise, right? Because I believe that Sid is our Jordan, our Gretzky right now in the sport. And if we want that, then she needs to come in and she needs to win this slam.
Dude,
she needs to come in and win this slam. I think her best chance is, hoping that she can get Masai in the hurdles. I think it's gonna be tough, but I think it's hoping she can get her in that and then finish top 3 in the 100.
All right.
And
I'm all for it.
Interesting.
Sid, man.
It's interesting.
But hey, Sid, thank you for keeping us interested.
But I don't want to count out the 3 ladies we have here because we're talking all about Sid. We talked about Masai Russell. Danielle Williams is coming in. She was the Kingston Slam champion.
She's amazing.
She won the initial one. And then we have Akira Nugent, who was the Miami champion a month ago.
Listen, this
So
is by far the
packed group.
hardest event to call at any track meet. The women's hurdles is always just amazing, and they're all so good that like you never like. It's not like with the guys hurdles now. Like
Yeah, yeah. You see Grant, maybe Rye in the longer one, and that's about it.
but
I mean,
like
Trey Cunningham is fantastic.
I mean, but like Grant's like anytime it's a big meet until proven otherwise, he's gonna win.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But yeah,
Especially
no, this group's going to be fun.
yeah,
I'm excited to see this group as well. But that's all we could talk about in the groups of Grand Slam.
because we don't have any
Come on,
more
guys,
flyers.
give me more. We're only at an hour 16. We could still go longer. We could have done a whole show talking about Grand Slam, but now we're going to have to move on
Change
because,
course.
damn it, we don't have enough to talk about. So fix that, guys. Give me lists. I want lists. I'm a nerd. But I want to jump over here and Diamond League. That old rusty league over here. Diamond League starts in
Before we talk about Diamond League, can we talk about Flow Track?
yeah, sure. We'll jump in because I don't have a graphic for that. But you watched the flow track coverage of the Diamond League, right?
I watched the first. I think it was Doha, the one of the most recent ones. It was the first one for the Athletes Lounge.
Yeah.
Let me tell
What
you,
do you think of it?
amazing. I am sold. It was just so cool. It was Trey Hardy, English Gardner, Maddie Senchowitz, and I think they're gonna have someone else, in
Rotating in, yeah.
the week. But I mean, it was like picture. First of all, they have an awesome like pre-meet show with all them just going over different events and who's running what, and it's cool because like they all have a different perspective. Like you got Centro on mid distance, longer distance. You got Trey Hardy on multis. Well, he's kind of there for everything, and then English Gardner on the sprint. But they break down form. That they talk about making moves. They talk about some of their races, and then for the actual event, picture Manning cast but track. So like you're watching it live on Flow Track with them as they're commentating along with the actual commentator, bringing up old races, bringing up, inside things like how to pass on the inside. Like it was very informative for a person who watches track, but also
Yeah.
for a person who doesn't watch it, they would be able to completely understand it. And, people love all these shows now where
You could learn some stuff too.
yeah,
while you're there.
I thought it was, and then they have a post meet show. It was so fun. It was just a fun, fresh way to watch the sport. I'm a fan. It was fantastic.
I think it's a lot of these leagues, including football, starting it, and we see the WNBA doing it with Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. I
Yeah,
think that's those two that do it, and it's
baseball has one. It's like A-Rod and a couple of
well, the
people.
thing is, baseball kind of started this in general because what is a baseball telecast? You have someone doing and pitch
Right.
low outside, and then they have a conversation again, right? Like
Yeah,
the play of the sport interrupts the conversation because
true.
baseball commentary has been, it really has. It's been,
Yeah.
they have a running conversation for about 3 hours, and then they give you some baseball, they give you the call and things like that. Like the conversation stops, but they have the skill to just talk and it's related to the sport. It's related to things going on. And they talk about the current batter, the pitcher, and things like that. And they give you stories. And I think it's smart that other sports are catching up to that, right? And they're bringing in these
That's great.
personalities.
Listen, it was, and like, just like it was a good mix of people because like Trey Hardy kind of knows everyone, and like English Gardner and Centro, they were past teammates at Oregon. So you're that there was it was a very seamless, kind of like how Grand Slam we were talking, like they're kind of who's talking now, where they at. It was easy to follow. It was really, really cool. And I just think that it's a cool way to watch the meet because you're not like it's not just like a set commentary. It can change in any second. Like Central can add something or English can add something. And then there's Trey Hardy, I guess, was kind of the overall host in a
Like the
sense.
guru type of
Yeah,
thing.
like he's the kind of one who kind of directed every conversation. But anybody who hasn't seen it, if you have Flow Track, you can watch it in the replay section. It was fantastic.
I think track kind of lends itself to do that Pat McAfee style. And I think that Pat McAfee style would be lots of fun.
This was kind of
Where but
similar.
like more where they're like on the track and they're doing like the call, like because they have the Pat McAfee crew set up on the track,
Yeah,
right? And they have like,
yeah.
and they have them on the sideline, but like the way track is too, like you'll have a better chance of while you're doing the commentary, here's so and so walking by, warming up,
Oh,
and
no, like,
they'll say
you
a
would
few
have guests
things. And
nonstop because everybody
100%.
runs at different times, so that you have people in
Exactly.
and out
And
for
you can get
all.
someone walking in and just like starting their warm up, so you're not disturbing it. It could be like, "Hey, how you feeling? Gonna be good." Oh, they'll be coming on at this point. So
Well,
I feel like that could be a future thing, and I think that
I
could be
mean,
cool and something FlowTrack can
didn't
do.
Davern say that maybe they'll have something more like interactive on the actual track?
Possibly, possibly. I don't
Yeah.
know. FlowTrack's cooking things up, and
All right,
FlowTrack
and
does,
I mean,
and they're making their product worth
the
buying by doing these types of things, which is
the
great.
the only difference that I've seen from this to NBC, I actually like FlowTrack better. I just think it's cleaner and it's not all jumbled.
Mhm.
Um, the only issue is, do you want to pay $30?
Well, the way Davern broke it down, yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
With the
no,
way Davern broke it down for everything, and I really believe they need to do a commercial and run it and do different people, in the sport talking about it and, like, different athletes, like,
sure.
these are all the events you're going to get. Like, and the way he was able to just rattle off top of his head the events you're gonna get, imagine if they put a little time into it and they allowed people to see, like, what breaks down to, was it, $2 a month?
Yeah,
Whatever it is, 30 bucks, what is 30 bucks a year is $2 a month to get nonstop action, cross country, indoor, outdoor, and if you
wait,
decide you want to go and enjoy some
isn't it 30
cheerleading, you
bucks
can.
every month?
Huh?
Isn't it $30 a month?
Is it 30 bucks a month? I thought it was less than that. Oh no, he was
I don't
saying
know.
it's no, it is 30 bucks a month, and he was talking about it's like a cup of Starbucks a day. But still,
Yeah.
everything you're getting out of it. Plus, if you feel like going to watch some cheerleading, if you want to go watch some wrestling, if you want to go watch
No,
some swim, and
there are,
they
there are.
provide a lot of service there, but adding these types of innovative things
Dude,
is
it
only
was
going to help.
it was cool. I mean, it's something that I wish every fan could just sit down and just watch because it was a really cool and I usually watch the Manning cast over regular
See, I watch McAfee.
broadcast.
I watch the McAfee cast over the Manning cast. I love the McAfee cast.
I didn't know that that was the thing. Was that on YouTube?
No, no, it's on it's so if like
ESPN
Manning
two
will
has Manning cast.
ESPN2 has a Manning cast, and then there's also a McAfee cast on another one of them.
I'll
Like
probably let
it's really
ESPN
good,
move.
and it's Pat McAfee and his crew on the sideline, and McAfee's basically doing play by play while they're talking in their style. It's
No,
really good because I
but
like the Pat
yeah,
McAfee
no,
stuff.
this is extremely similar, except for they're not there. But so what it is, they're watching the same feed that we would watch if
Yeah.
but
FlowTrack, send the podcast there and make Davern go there too, and he could be the sideline commentary as well. Send the podcast to the events on Diamond League. It'll be awesome. Send us to the events on Diamond League. How about that? We'll
hey,
work for you, Flo. Send Talking and Ovals out there. We'll do the commentary on the. We'll do the McAfee style
we
commentary.
literally will be talking inside of an oval.
We will quite literally be talking inside of an oval. It would be much less, much more ironic in that sense.
That was such a dad joke.
It was fantastic. I accept it, and I accept you for who you are because we're both fathers. But let's
What's next? What's
jump
next?
back into this because let's talk some Diamond League now
All right,
because the
here's where
coverage is
my
good.
lack of paying attention this season will be on full display, but I'm gonna own it.
So
I'm gonna
the
own it.
So May 25th, which is a few days from now, over in Rabat, Morocco, Rabat, I believe, is their Diamond League meet that's going on, and we know, Grand Slam is doing great, but Diamond League is still the premier
Yes,
track, league in the world. $1 million at the end of it. You make money every time you jump in. So, let's break down some of the bigger races that we think. Obviously, here are the 400-meter women. Femke Bowls in it.
MK.
That's
Yep.
all we need to say. Femke is easily the number 2 400-meter hurdler of all time. And if if Sid didn't exist, it would be Femke. We'd be only talking about Femke.
Yeah,
So she's special, and to watch her do her season premiere here in the event is fun.
it
I'm
is.
excited to watch her do it and see. She'll probably come out and
We're,
run
we're,
like a
we're,
53
we're
or a 52.
at that time of a year where we this is where the studs start to kind of come out
Yes.
and get the things. She's gonna run fast in 52. She's gonna run like 49.
I mean,
50.
they got about a month. They got
I
a
think.
month, and it's the 400 hurdle, so it's not the open four. So she'll
Oh,
run like a
hurdles.
52.
I thought that was the open. Oh,
No,
hurdles.
it's a
Hurdles.
hurdle. So she'll come out
She'll
and run like a
run.
53, 52.
She'll run 54.
You think 54 just getting her sea legs wet?
54 win easily.
Oh no. Andronette
Uh,
Knight's there. She ran that 54
yeah,
earlier this year. Andronette's not no. She's
yeah,
gone sub 54 before. She's no slouch.
maybe 53.
Rochelle Clayton's there. Rochelle Clayton has a
True.
solid PR. She's one
True,
of the
yeah.
best. So she's gonna have to. I think Femke is gonna win. I'm thinking 53, 54, 52.
I did see again. I did not look close enough because it's small and I'm old. So
Sorry, let me see if I can make this a little bigger for you.
thank you.
Let's see. Why did it
There
go
we go.
backwards?
There we go. All right.
There we
All right.
go.
Yeah, all right.
So I
Short
said
run,
400.
I think you're right. 52, 53.
So let's keep scrolling down here now that I got the old man. So the 100-meter men has a great matchup here. We have Curly over here, who's coming off of his incident, but he's competing.
Yep.
Kyrie King over here, and Kyrie King always just seems to find his way into these races, and Kyrie's a competitor. We have
Yala,
Ferdinand Omanyala, who's talented.
Bean,
Simbine,
and
Tabejo, obviously there. So
like how he's
this
going
is
100 now. He's been starting off the year going the two, so it's kind of
This
cool.
is this is a hell of a matchup. I'm
Yeah, this
excited.
is
This is
good.
going to be one of the best races of the day. So I'm excited for this one. You have a bunch of guys. I think we're going to see most of the guys here dip well
I'm
below
just not
9, below
sure
10.
if Tobogo is in 100-meter shape because he's been focusing on the two. I mean, he's obviously fast.
I mean, he
There's no
ran a
doubt.
10.03 in his 100 premier. That's a season best right there.
Yeah, I mean, but I
So
mean,
he's ready to dip under.
he's right. I mean,
It's going to be interesting.
I'm gonna go.
I think
I'm gonna
Simbine.
go Oman Yaya because he's always good. He's always good early season.
Yeah, I'm liking Simbine.
But
I think
would I be
Simbine's had a
shocked to
breakout year.
Tobogo won? No, not at
No,
all.
but there's
Would I
some
be
fast
shocked?
individuals here.
I'd be a little shocked if Curly won just with everything going on. You just kind of don't know where someone's headspace is. But I mean, he's a competitor, so
Yeah,
you don't know. Yeah,
this is a great race.
I'll go Omanyaya because he's usually good early season, and then but I would not be shocked if Simbine or Tobogo or like it's so hard.
Could go a few ways. So
Yeah,
let's keep rolling here. The 800 men has an interesting mix going on here. We have I'm going down right to the bottom here. When Yanni is not at the Grand Slam because he's going to try and win some Diamond League money. He's over here with his 146 hanging out. Obviously, the
yeah.
best 800-meter runner in the world right now, 141.11. Absolutely ridiculous. Getting ready to.
Although, I mean, there's some videos of A-Rap doing some workouts. Whoo,
Yes,
gonna
A-Rop
be
looks good. So mostly, we have some good names in here. We have some fast guys, obviously. Kenya Mall's good over here and things like that. But
we got Happel starting off 143 off the
yeah,
bat.
but we're
Oh,
really watching this race to see where Wanyoni is. I'm interested to see where Brandon Miller is. He's doing
yeah.
his season premiere. I think Brandon can run faster than 143. I think he's that type of an
It is
athlete, but we'll
like
see.
I have learned that when you don't think a person can run something, but then everyone else gets faster, they
It
just
ups
get
that.
faster.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's the human body is fascinating.
Yeah, so it's interesting. This is a good race that I want to keep watch on. Now, the 100 women is also a good and interesting race over
Rika,
here. Sharika with her season debut over here. Obviously, she has her 10.65 PR. She's by far the class over here, but not to be counted out. Jasia Sears over here,
yeah, listen,
she's a threat. She's a very fast, very good runner. Cambria Sturgis is a good runner. There's a good group
when
here, but
Rika Jackson is right, she's very tough to be, especially in that too. But I mean, yeah, but then you have Julian Alfred now, who's man,
Alfred's good. Shakari's good.
Larry.
There's
I mean, it's
so
man, this sport is amazing.
it's so good. But yeah, Sharika's debuting over here. I'm expecting her to do something good though.
Yeah,
400 men is an interesting group over here. Obviously Bryce Deadman over here already ran a 44.3 this year, right near his PR. So he's running pretty darn
yeah. I
fast.
mean, I'm looking, at Quincy Hall's 45.99. He really hasn't raced really at all since the injury
Yeah.
at the
So
Olympics. So I'm curious to see what kind of shape
yeah.
he's in. Let me look around. Yeah, I mean,
Ja'Cory Patterson in the best shape of his life ran his PR dipping under 44, 43.98.
yeah.
So this could be a good fast race. I think the Americans are going to have the inside track on this one, but you never know how it's going to be. I'm not counting out Morales Williams here, who was a 44 low guy on the brink of breaking that. So we'll see. Another good matchup here.
Absolutely.
Let's keep going here. The 1500 men. Interesting right here. I am always a fan of Chieti, Vincent Chieti. He has, 331 PR, one of the guys that when, we obviously had our friend of the show, Eric Holt, on the show a few times.
Yep.
Chieti was over there doing his thing while Holt was as well. Like they were both busting their asses trying to make
Yeah, he's tough,
things.
man.
Oof.
I mean, you got
They're tough.
Coleman in
They're
there.
good.
You got yeah.
You
You got
got,
guys in
you
there.
got Chariot, you got Keeter in there.
Get Hobbs in there.
Yeah, there. Oh, are you talking about just in general? I'm talking about the race.
No, no, yeah, no. Here,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, we got this is a good matchup. I'm excited to
yes,
see. Festus Legat, like you said, is there. So it's going to be a good race. The 1500 is always a premier race over at the Diamond League.
it
So
is.
I'm
But
excited,
I
but
mean, I'm not gonna lie. As we're going through these matchups, we're kind of like comparing them to what Grand Slam has, and certain things one one side wins, certain things the other. So, but it's cool how there's enough athletes to put on elite meets. That not everybody can go to both. So that's cool. I mean, you have some crossover with like Wembanyama, but it's cool that like there's good matchups at both venues.
100%. 100%. Let's keep rolling here. The 3K women has, interesting over here. I'm highlighting Georgia Griffin coming over here. She is a monster with her A24 PR, but we also have Chibet, Chep Nagetic. A good matchup here is some
Yeah,
fast women,
always
a
is.
bunch of sub 830s over here. So I'm excited for this race. I think it's going to be obviously. Oh Jesus, how
You
did I
got
forget
Tay.
Tay?
Yeah,
Tay over there,
I didn't see her earlier.
little freak. So I think we're going to see, a group of individuals jump out. I think George is going to be up there. I think Tay is going to be up there.
It all depends
I
on
think the
on
women are going
like
to be there.
pacemakers and who takes it when. I mean,
Yeah.
these women always put on just absolute phenomenal races.
And it helps that it's going to help that the two Kenyans are there, and they typically more than the Africans work very well together in
Sure,
all these types of races, more than a lot of other nationalities.
absolutely,
Especially the Kenyans will work good together, the Ethiopians will work well together, and they'll push each other, which I think is part of their strength. That even though they're all trying to beat each other in the meat and potatoes of the race, they're willing to work hard together.
sure.
So there's value in that. So this is going to be another good race. The thing with the Diamond League that sets it apart, how many times have we said it's going to be a good race, good race, good race? Like it's guaranteed. This is
Always.
another one. This
This is
200 meter.
probably the meat the
Woo-hoo!
event of the meet. I mean, you have some guys coming back like
Ah,
Ian Curley and Tobogo. The name that interests me is Van Niekerk.
Van Niekerk's
Because,
interesting.
like, he really hasn't done much since he broke that world record in the 4.
Mhm.
Kinda cool to see him run it too. Like, every time he comes back, I feel like something else gets just, tweaked and he's just off or he has to shut down his season. But, I mean, this is a loaded field. I mean, you got
Is Fambulla ready to finally break
I
out?
think he is, yeah.
Because like he's
I think so.
such a good collegiate career, and now
What a
sitting there.
field. I mean, you have to go with Tobogo here, even on a double. Actually, I don't know which event's first, but
I mean, I'm not counting out Courtney Lindsay, a fresh Courtney Lindsay coming here.
he
Courtney's
was
fast. I mean, I'm not counting him out, but again, you're looking at the usual suspects. I could see this
great
being a
field, man.
Fred
That
and
is a great
Lenciel
field.
going at it. It's gonna be good, but this is a fantastic field for the two.
Yeah,
So
that's
much fun.
as good as it gets.
So you got the 800 women over here. The 800 women is also going to be another interesting one. We have some fast ladies going. We have the Guma already ran a 156 this year. That's blazing
Yeah,
this early.
early, that's
But we have some other good athletes. We have Maloney over here running fast, already dipping under 2. She's a 157 PR.
a lot of fast
Nakai,
PRs in that field.
yes, a lot of really good PRs, and it's
Now
not like they're
Wiley, I
not.
mean, Wiley's already
Yep,
run a 158's got that 156 in her back pocket, so, I mean, that's
a great
wow.
field,
Yeah,
another great field where definitely they're gonna have to dip well
Diamond
below
League
2
does it
minutes.
again.
Well below 2 minutes to win this race, and,
Could be.
I mean, Wiley is gonna wanna hang on and get back to that 156. I think a 157 wins this race, I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna have to run fast.
You
So
you would hope. I mean, yeah, that's a great field.
They're chasing after that million, so they all run fast. And here's the thing: they know, and that's going to be the last race we cover. But they know that doing well in the Diamond League puts you. That's number one. The times you run there matter more for world rankings because the different levels of meets give
Sure,
different weights to the time. So you get more points in your world rankings if you run fast in a Diamond League meet. So it's why we see so many great performances in Diamond Leagues because it helps your world ranking immensely if you do good there.
sure.
So that's another thing that people don't understand about track. Not all meets are made the same.
Oh, not even close.
With the world rankings, World Athletics puts a ranking on it, whether it's platinum, whether it's
Continental
gold,
League, you know?
whether it's silver. They they put their number on it, and then
even
your time gives a different point ranking. So
even even as an avid track fan, it's still so hard to figure,
it's
"Oh,
incredibly
is
confusing.
this gold? Is this diamond? Like, is this like, it's like, what is this? And then how many points? I mean, we've had guests on our actual shows, talk about, like,
Well,
them
Eric
uh,
Swinsky broke that down
trying,
for us.
trying to, like, break down, like,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
and figure out points, and it's crazy. There has
So
to be a more simplistic way to
I don't know.
streamline all this.
I mean, well, I understand though, because again, not all meats are made the same. There is more cachet to some meats. Um, so I think instead, for me personally, instead of having tiers, there's only so many meats that count. Period. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think that would be, and it would. I think the way they do it, it's like because then that would really limit the Diamond League and maybe a few others, and then no one else. So it would really limit
Do
the
we know what
pool.
Grand Slam is? What is their
I
status
think Grand
or
Slam is gold.
gold?
I think they're gold. I think they're up there. I think that they're all. I think gold or probably. I think so. I
Yeah,
don't think they're silver. I think they're gold. I think that's a good ranking.
has to be.
You Sid would not be racing
Yes,
if it
right.
wasn't putting the points up there for world rankings. Gabby wouldn't be there. Grant wouldn't be there if it wasn't
Oh,
giving them
listen,
max points. So
I mean, can't say that. I mean, money talks more than world rankings.
yeah, yeah, but the
If you're
Olympics and
a
sponsorships and world,
track
it's still
athlete who, yeah, but sponsorships don't always care about world rankings. They care about, I mean, it's not
no,
gonna
they
stop
care
them from
about both
going to
rankings.
the, world, like, they're not gonna say, "Sid, you're not going to the worlds." Plus, she probably has so many passes for winning in the
She
past.
probably does, but
But
in terms of a lot of the other
interesting
athletes
though.
that
I
are
I
coming, it
had
is
never
interesting.
thought of what the status was of. I mean, it's probably something that I should know. I just don't know.
Well, let's see. What is the meat set? World
And for everyone out
athlete.
there, like, this is just like me and Alex just having a regular, normal conversation, like looking up things, just talking about track.
Let's see. I don't. Uh,
I don't even know if it has a status. I have no idea.
I'm sure they do. Somebody told me about it.
I There's no
It's
way that it hurts you, like,
no, no. It definitely isn't hurting.
uh,
We'll
eh,
actually get on that another time. I don't want to
I don't
waste too
wanna
much
bore
time
everyone.
here.
Yeah.
No, but that's definitely it's a factor. It's a huge factor.
Sure.
So we were going to talk about the standings. I'm skipping over the standings for this week. We've talked. We're over an hour and a half. Let's get to our final topic here, and I think this is a big one. This is an important one, and what we're going to talk about is more of the person that is excluded from this. But let's jump to this post from Prefontaine Classic on X. The
Whew.
most iconic mile in the world turns 25 this year, which is incredible. 25 years of the Prefontaine Classic is awesome.
I feel like it's been around even longer.
It feels like it, right?
It's, like, so, like, prestigious in this sport.
I mean, the mile is the second most important race in the world to the 100.
Can you, please make that larger for my old man
I
eye?
will. I will. I'm going to read real quick.
Okay.
25 edition of the Bowerman Mile features one of the deepest fields ever seen, which not arguing that.
No,
Who's your pick to take this year's title? So,
let's
boom,
break
we get
it
a nice
down.
picture up here of Cole Hocker doing his thing, winning
Hey,
the last time,
he's the
and
he's the Olympic champ, man.
he is the Olympic champ. And then this is your field. Can you read that, Dave?
That is good. Thank you.
Okay, so this is our field for the Bowerman Mile. I'll start from the top. Reynald Chariot, Timothy Chariot, Grant Fisher, Neil Gurley, Azadine Hobbs, Oliver Hoare, Cole Hocker, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Hobbs Kessler, Niels Laros, Cameron Myers, Stefan Nilsson, Yara Nagus, and Jake Whiteman. And
Well
it's
done, Diamond League and
well done,
Power
Diamond
Man.
League. Well done, pre-classic. Dave, who's missing?
I believe it's the same person who backed out of the Wanamaker Mile in indoors, Mr. Josh
Yep.
Kerr.
Mr. Josh Kerr.
Curious. He does like to talk a lot. I'm not sure why he's not lacing them up and going in this race. I mean, there could be reasons. Maybe he has a goal, but I mean, there are other Gold League members here. I mean,
I mean,
Grand Slam members here.
yeah, no, it's a mystery that why Kerr decided to dodge this field. Um, and I'm gonna call it exactly that
I mean,
because
as far as we know, like we haven't heard any reason. You would hate, but I mean,
the
I don't know.
Diamond League is not saying no to Josh Kerr.
Oh, of course not.
He's at
No,
that
he's
level
in
where
there.
if his agent
In
calls,
there
he's
over
in.
probably, you know,
I'd say,
Maybe
okay, he's in there over everyone not named Grant Fisher. I think Ollie Hoare is pretty safe. Cole Hocker, Jakob Hobbs. Cam Myers is safe. Yard and Whiteman. I think everyone else would he, but maybe Timothy Carriot.
Sure, yeah,
I think everyone else he'd probably get a spot over.
yeah.
And even some of the people I mentioned.
No, listen, he's the world champ, second at the Olympics. Like
And I would have
he's
loved to seen
he's
him and
good.
Whiteman go at it. The two
Yeah.
countrymen going at it. Whiteman is a world champion. He's a world
Maybe that's
champion.
why maybe they don't run the same rate. I have no idea. I'm just trying to spitball here and think of any reason why. But I mean, so he's not running.
Do we see a world record?
It's certainly possible.
I mean, if Jakob Ingebrigtsen's going for Algaruch's world
Should,
record.
because that's seems to be the only way that he beats these guys is because, to me, in the world, if you're just talking about who's the most talented, who will run, if all out, just everyone runs
not even
all
close.
out, Jakob is the best. He gets caught up, when he tries to change it. Just go for it. Like, you don't lose when you go for it. Like, I haven't seen him lose where he just, like, I mean, how many times do we see him just him and the pacer, him and the lights? Like, he's that good, but he doesn't always win.
Well, I mean, I'll say the Olympic 15. He went for it in the Olympic 15, and he just lost. He went for it, and he just lost. He got beat that day.
He did.
He led from
front
to finish. He went, and it took friggin' some of the fastest times in the world ever to beat him. Right? Like,
yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry. Like, he did go for that one.
I mean, all right. So let me ask you, who's your most intriguing name on this list?
The most intriguing name on this list is probably Hobbs Kessler.
I was going to go with Grant.
I don't think Grant's going to keep up with him. Grant's PR is 333.
Grant can run 330 or faster.
Grant's not running.
He's that fit. He's working on his speed. I'm telling you.
I don't think Grant's. Here's the reason why Grant's not doing it, and I know he's been tested. If these guys go all out the way they're supposed to,
I don't think he's going to win, but I think he can run 330 to 329.
I think he's going to finish sixth.
That'd be great. Yeah, 6 in a 329 or 330.
Possibly, because I'm looking at the names now.
He's a different runner now, man. He is. He's elite, man. He's one of the best.
Is not going to look at a guy who he probably thinks is inferior to him.
Win, but I think it's going to go. They're going to have a pacer. They're not going to get this field together and say,
no, they're going to
let's go run.
Sawinski's going to go to work.
Let's go run. 350. 5. No, they got this field together to go for it.
You also have to think Yobs wants to break Fisher in here too, because he looks at Fisher and he's like, cool, you have the American 5K record. I am the 5K guy. I am the 10K. I am the everything guy in distance. And, Grant Fisher is trying to be that everything guy. He really is. He's trying to do what Jakob's doing by being able to go to the 10K down to the 15, right? He's really trying to do it. And we've seen Jakob doing the same thing.
All right. So here's the thing. 5K, Jakob versus Grant.
Jakob trounces him.
It doesn't trounce him. There's no
trounces him. He drops him for the last 800.
Trounce the world record holder indoor.
The last 800, he drops him.
Grant's just got to go from the gun.
But he can't. He can't outrun Jakob. I honestly don't see a world where he outruns Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
The only issue is we haven't seen. I mean, Jakob's won countless worlds and Olympics 5K, but we have never seen him have to run an all-out 5. And I think he could run 12:30 something.
That's his race.
I do too.
Race, and I don't think
what he's going to make his mark. I mean, he's already made his mark, but I think the 5K. But Grant gets him 10K.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I don't think he's run it yet.
To see it. I would love to see it.
My money's on Grant there. Anyway, back to this race.
So in this race, who do you think Jakob's going to win? Honestly, it's such a. This is right back to the Olympics.
I would have to. Although he's lost to Whiteman, he's lost to Curry, he's lost to Hocker.
He's lost to Whiteman, Curry, he's lost to Yacht. He's lost to a lot of guys on this list. So it's going to be.
I don't think Jakob is coming here unless he's ready to just freaking roll.
Here's the thing. He has to
roll.
Favorite.
All right, let me phrase that. I guess roll now is what kids say when they do poorly.
Yeah.
I am finally learning that. So, all right. He's going to run fast. How's that?
He has to be the favorite.
He has to.
But I'm also.
Which is crazy because Cole Hocker just won the freaking Olympics.
Cole Hocker but that's the thing. He has to be the favorite. But here's the thing, though. Again,
we are just put the world record. I mean,
We go
Not
to
again, but
he's Jakob is the multi-world record holder in the world.
he
Okay.
is. No, he's
He has the mile short track, the 3K short track,
gotta be the
3K, the 2K, the 1500 short track.
and
I
I think he
mean,
could get the 5K if he ever just ran a good one.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, listen, he's got. I mean, but freaking Chariot's awesome too. Like this is a heck of a
It's such a good field, man.
like. And to me, it all depends on how it's run. If it's fast from the start and they're going world record, not many people can keep. It'll get strung out by the 800, I think, and then
if
more so at the 12, it'll probably be down to only a few. But if it
if
goes
it's
out
that
in
fast, you're seeing Jakob, you're seeing Timothy. Grant will hang on, but Grant's not going to finish strong.
I
Yard
think
will be up
Grant
there.
is at an advantage if it goes out fast. I think not to win, but to run a fast PR. Grant can hold on because
I
he's
think if it goes out that fast to world record pace, I think they drop Cole late, very late. But
Cole.
Cole's a kicker. Cole needs to
Yeah,
be
but
there, and Cole.
he's
I mean,
working
don't
on
get
his
me wrong, he's
strength
fast.
indoors. He's
I
strong to me.
agree. I
He's
agree,
strong
but
now.
I'm just thinking of how I've seen them race.
You know, it's from
If they're truly on Hikam El Garouch's world record pace, I mean, it's
it just
Jakob.
seems
Maybe it's I
just
think
I
Jakob
feel
and
like it's just
Yard are the two that
early in
have
the
the ability.
season to get a world record. I mean, I guess not. It's
For the Bowerman
almost
Mile,
June.
what is
Yeah,
that? So yeah, they're going to be getting closer to championship season. There, it's
it's
close.
June. You're right. It's
It's
June.
getting
I
there.
mean, but it's crazy. Like we haven't mentioned Gorley or
We've mentioned Gurley. We've mentioned really Ali. We haven't
Cam
mentioned
Myers, who's a
Cam Myers.
absolute young
Canadian
stud.
beast.
He's a
Um,
stud.
but out of this group, I'm not
And
discounting
we
Whiteman.
mentioned
Whiteman's
Kessler,
fast.
who when Nagoose broke the world record, he ran a 347 indoors. You know, like
Kessler can do it. And
jeez,
my thing is, if I'm looking at the names here and I'm trying discounting not Josh Kerr being here because I would put Josh Kerr in this group, the
sure.
only two individuals I see still having a chance to break Hikam El Garouch's record is Ingerbritsen and Nagoose, based off of their talent alone.
Maybe right now, but I mean, I can't say
Again,
that.
June's going to be a different story.
No,
What
no,
all
no. I'm
these guys are
saying no.
doing.
I mean, like at this year, but like, I mean, you don't think maybe Cam Myers has a shot? Was
But
he? Was he
it's hard.
18?
It's hard to say who develops, right? Like I'm talking about people like it's tough to say. Cam Myers has the
That was
talent in him, but I'm talking about what they're doing. Like if we're looking at potentially breaking it in
hey,
June,
but
those are the two guys.
shout out to El Garouge, man. That this is even a discussion. I mean, like
One
it.
of the most untouchable
He didn't
records.
have super shoes. He just. I mean, we don't. I mean, he's never come up on anything, but we don't know officially. But man, he was such a. I mean, you went from Nordine Morsley to El Garouge to all these guys. You had Legat in there. Like, man, 1500's been great for so long, but I don't know if it's been better than it is now. Like, all these guys can run
Depth.
327. It's
Depth is wild right now.
crazy.
What they have in the depth
Dude,
now,
I am
and
fired up right now, man. This is awesome.
yeah, the depth that we have in the thing, and it's like it's every other event around El Garouch's mile has gone down, basically. Right?
Yeah.
It's like it's the mile is the golden
It's
goose, and it's
8.
like
Yeah.
between
8.
that and Rudisha's 8. Like those are the two like golden gooses right now.
That's at least a little more modern. Like that's not. I mean,
Well,
when did
El
when
Garouch
did
did it in was it early? Was it 98, 99?
98? I'm thinking 98.
And but Rudisha did it in like 2006, 2007, I thought.
Oh,
Was it in
oh, he
2010s?
he was
No,
running against freaking Simmons and those guys. It was the
that's true.
2016 Olympics.
Was it 16? I thought it was 2012 at least.
No, because wasn't that like the greatest race where Nick Simmons was like fifth in 142?
Maybe, yeah. Dwayne Solomon was in there.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna see. This
I
is
think that
why
was
we research.
16, man. I think I could be dead wrong.
I mean, he's
I didn't
he's
look it up
he's my age,
for a second.
1988. So it really is possible that you're correct
Yeah, I mean he
because
wasn't.
that would have been. It
Well,
was. It
it
was
certainly wasn't
2012.
2006.
It was 2012.
12.
So
Okay.
6 years off. Not bad. He ran a 149 one. I still can't believe a 140.
Dude, but
Jesus.
I'm telling you,
Jesus
these
Christ.
guys can run that.
Yeah, I
A-Rob,
mean, yeah,
I mean, listen, last year, as we've talked about, Hoppel ran a 141 and didn't get a medal. That's
yeah,
ridiculous. That is
yeah.
the fastest 800 meter ever. I mean, minus the actual winning time. Ridiculous.
It's crazy to see what we got going on here. This is such a great group that we have here. The
Man,
fact that it is going to be, I mean,
how fun is this season gonna be?
yeah, I
We got
mean,
the
it's going to be a
Worlds, we
great
got,
season. It's
and
just,
oh, by the way, Diamond League 2, I love this. Finishing up the Diamond League finals before the world champs. So
yeah,
you won't get all those like awkward races afterwards where people just going in for the money. They're way
they're
past.
making it nice, neat, and
Diamond League
tidy.
is finishing before, like, so those last couple of Diamond meets are going to be just world championship previews. Everyone's going to be getting ready. It's going to be brilliant.
So I'm excited for this. The Bowerman Mile is always,
That's
it's
great. That's the
one of
only
the
one
biggest
I
races of
think
the year.
that's not on Flow, right?
They
That
don't have the
one's
Bowerman
back
Mile
on
on Flow.
NBC.
They put it on
Well,
NBC. That makes sense. That
I
makes
think
sense. Honestly, I in the future, and I know Diamond League won't let them do this, they should detach it from the Diamond League, and it should just be an event. It should be a
well,
one
it's a Diamond
hour.
League Classic, yeah.
That should be just like a 1 hour, interviewing the people and then the race because it never disappoints. That Bowerman Mile
Listen,
never
think about it.
disappoints.
Alan Webb ran a 3:53 in that meet in high school. Like, sick.
But you know what though? There is something about the Prefontaine Classic though, because how many classic 800s have we got there? Remember the
But
Oregon sweep?
yeah,
Like that was insane.
but that also shows maybe how far that this sport has come and that this event's come because you had to put Alan Webb in there because you didn't have this depth. You didn't have a field.
This
Like,
is,
you
yeah.
had to throw your high school kid just to get people to like tune in and watch it. Now, like, there's no high school kid who's breaking here now.
No,
Like, so that
no.
that does show growth. I mean, I just thought of that now, but like
There
that's
is a level that has stepped up in track where I think more than ever the pros have been separating themselves. And some people like Quincy come jumping in running a 43. Like in the lower, like the sprints,
yeah.
I think that you're still getting that. But I think as it gets higher and
Well,
higher, the pros are truly separating themselves.
it's also now that like you're at the point now where high school kids don't need pros to try to break four. They can run against each other
No,
now.
no,
So
that's
I mean,
true.
like, it used to have your high school kid who was trying to break four. There was no high school kids that he could run against. Now you can run in a high school only meet, and you'll get a few kids under sub four every year. So I like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that whole aspect has changed where you don't need to. These high school kids can just run against kids their own age and
The
not
whole
get this
sport.
massive pressure. Like they all feel the same pressure. Not like Alan Webb must have had so much pressure when everyone's watching him in that Barron Mile, and he delivered. Like these kids, at least now they can just stay in high school, running against high school kids, and just still get that elite competition.
But like you said, you couldn't possibly justify putting Alan Webb in this race because if he runs a
No, you couldn't.
3:53, he's 10 meters behind everyone because
Yeah,
all of these guys in this field
I mean,
are
listen,
going to run well under sub 350.
listen. There's always one or two outliers who just have an off race, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But
but yeah,
these guys, the
at
off
their
race
best.
in this whole group is going to be sub 350. You're going to have the off race is going to be 348.
Listen, if
Like
and
it's stupid.
every one of these athletes, this is what you train for. Like this is like this is
Absolutely.
like their Olympics almost sense. Like this is like because unlike the Olympics, it's not going to be a tactical race. It's just going to be let's see who is faster today. Like this is what the sport is all about. And I cannot wait.
And with again, if and the thing is too though, take Jakob Ingebrigtsen's name out of this race. We're
Still
looking, but no, we're not looking at a fast time. The
probably
this
he
because
is.
he is the guy that
He
goes
does.
for it. He's pre. He is pre in so many ways. In
He
so many ways, he's Steve Prefontaine.
he's not afraid now.
Not afraid, and he wants to go do things that haven't been done before. And he wants to go from the front, and he wants to win. And he wants to make sure that everybody knows he's at that race.
Yep.
And I think that we will remember Jakob Ingebrigtsen very much in Prefontaine's way. When it's all said and done, he has that cocky demeanor. He has that work ethic, and he goes out and leaves it on the track. And even when Jakob Ingebrigtsen loses, he made the race.
Let's just hope that it's for a much longer period.
Oh my God, yeah, I want Jakob Ingebrigtsen to grow old and be able to be an ambassador for the sport into his 90s, 100s, and because by that time we're going to be
I
transhuman.
mean,
So Jakob
yeah, wait,
Ingebrigtsen is
what
going to
is
be able
he?
to run forever.
Is he just still like he's like 23, right? Like
How old is
he's so young. Like I think he's younger. He's probably still like I mean he's not younger than Cam Myers, but he's
he's
got to be.
24 years old.
I mean he's got to be younger than Yared and probably not Hobbs, but
I think
Yared and
I think
Cole and
Hobbs is
Ollie,
22. He might be
Grant.
just
But like Jakob's he's so established. He's still young,
I mean,
24.
he's
He's not even in
Norwegian
his
though. There's
prime yet. I
something
mean,
different in that water there.
considering, like what we've considered the distance runner prime in the past, he's not even there yet.
Yeah, no, it's
Usually, like your late 20s, you're finally learning everything.
we
But he's been so good for so young that he's so far
with his
ahead of
greatness,
almost anybody that we've seen.
we probably have another 6 years of quality Jakob Ingebrigtsen, like into at least almost 30, where he might not be winning, but he's still going to be running sub 350. He's still going to be competitive. He's still going to be
Listen,
battling. But here's the thing: we've already seen him flirt with the half marathon.
well,
I think by that time he's going to keep going up and up and up, and he's going to go for different things.
I'm here for it. He
I could
just
see him
seems like
going for.
you know what? He just seems like he just loves to just compete. Not even that
He'll be that guy that is like,
trying to break 4 at like 45.
well, no, he'll be that guy that's like, I want to break 2 hours in a marathon, but I want to do it in a race. I don't want to do it paced. I want to do it in a race. Like he'll be that guy that'll
No,
be like,
he is king. He's king pacer.
yeah, but
He has to be because
in
he's
the marathon he
freaking
won't
always
be. In the
running up.
half he won't be.
No, but like in general, like he definitely utilizes pacers
Of
more
course.
than anybody.
Of course he does. Absolutely does. But
But he's putting on shows.
the difference with him is though, he actually has a chance at a world record with the Pacers. A lot of times the Pacers are just there to run a fast time. He's going for world records.
And hey,
there's a massive difference.
he's the reason why I love the lights.
I mean, he's the only one that actually needs them. Everyone else is just trying. He's the only one that usually beats them.
Yeah,
But
no, he's awesome, man.
he's so good. But everybody,
This was a fun show.
This was fun. I hope you
We
guys enjoyed
need to
nerding out.
kind of do one of these every once in a while, just to kind of good.
Yeah, we geeked out a little bit. We broke it down. I think we gave our fair criticisms of Grand Slam because we want it to be successful.
Yeah.
Maybe my criticisms of Sid are a little unfair, but it's because I want the sport to be successful. And
I get it.
I want Sid to not only be a millionaire, I want her to be 100 millionaire. So I want her to put herself out there more because the more she is, you're putting her in that range. Like, don't get me wrong, Sid's probably fine. She's probably a millionaire multi times over.
A lot of New Balance commercials.
But there's no reason why Sydney McLaughlin-Lavoni is not 100 millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want to be 100 millionaire? Get out of here.
Too many problems, man.
Yeah.
People calling you every day and like,
poor people that don't have $100 million say that. When you had 100 mil, you would not say that. You'd be like, I have 100 mil. I don't care. My friggin', I have people that will answer the phone and handle that problem.
You know what I would do? I'd just build the coolest track stadium in the world.
I'd build a bunker underground and just go hide. Anyway, an underground track bunker. Imagine
that.
There
we go. Hey, got to have meets when the apocalypse comes.
Call it the bunker, and it's just like a perfectly filtrated, gigantic stadium-like place under the ground. Could you imagine? Environmentalists would like raid my place and blow it up.
We'll just bring Franklin Field layout. We'll put it under the ground.
No, I'm thinking like the Michigan, the big house. I just want like 100,000 person stadium underground. Could you imagine?
This is the 80th annual underground relays.
Oh my God. Friggin' we'd be mole people by that point. Anyway, we appreciate everyone for
off the rails now.
Off the rails. But it's still track related, damn it.
It is.
We appreciate everyone for watching. For wherever you're watching from, YouTube, Facebook, X. We appreciate everyone that listened on the podcast side later. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe. We'll be back with a guest, I think, hopefully this Sunday. We'll be talking to somebody, not Monday. So potentially look out for it on this Sunday that we'll be having a guest on. And we'll be here then. And if not, if we can, we'll continue to do more of this stuff because I had fun just kind of shooting, kind of talking about it. And if we don't have anything pro related, we'll go to college. We'll go to high school. There's so many ways we can go. But all right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. We'll be back. So long, y'all.
Thank you, guys.